Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom to the worldwide family. Peaceful Sabbath day, y'all, today. As we get about our Abba's business.
That's right.
Y'all know how we do it, y'all. We turn toward Holy Jerusalem as the instructions informs us how to worship when in the congregation of the assembly. Men are to uncover their heads, women are to cover their heads. We turn toward Holy Jerusalem as is written in the scripture. We also lift our hands up high. We want the Most High to lift us up today in knowledge and understanding of his holy, powerful word, y'all, today. So with that, y'all, we're going to get this class going. And we're going to read from the 91st Psalm.
Yes, sir.
How we looking? We good? He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my Yah, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilences that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion, and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet, because he has set his love upon me. Therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. Yes. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. Yes. I will deliver him and honor him. Yes. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Yes.
Hallelujah! Selah!
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Shabbat shalom again to the worldwide family. Y'all, we want to say shouts out, y'all. We got family traveling in town, y'all. We got Ark Vizion, the Hebrew, and family in town, y'all, today.
That's right.
So we want to thank family for coming out to break bread with us today as we get about our Abba's business, y'all. One love, y'all, for coming down and enjoying the feast today with the family. We want to send shouts out to Ark Lamar Williams, Sister Tarsha Robinson, Brother Philip McCall, Sister Stacy Young, and the Lemon family, that Ark DH, y'all, all of y'all, shouts out to y'all. We want to send prayers out to the house of Yalil, to son and nephew Justin. We lost our brother, Destin, I'm sorry. We lost our brother Yalil day or so ago, y'all. So that house needs prayer. Also continue prayers for Sister Stacy and her mother as she continue her rejuvenation of her health issues. I want to say shouts out to the house of Uriah as they continue. And also, y'all, if y'all will, pray for my mom's. She was diagnosed with the COVID, but she's doing outstanding. She was just a little bit more dehydrated than anything, but I talked to her on FaceTime today, and she's talking strong, and she's saying she good. They put a few fluids in her and brought her back up to speed, but naturally it's still a 5-day quarantine So just ask y'all to pray for my mom's, Miss B, and continue prayers for all our family, y'all, that need it. And y'all, today's class, y'all, we're going to have to continue on our journey with understanding the order of Melchizedek versus the order of Aaron and the law that's in between both of them, y'all, because it's the determining factor, y'all, what's got Israel divided, y'all. Mm-hmm. You can say language and all of these things, y'all, but it's priesthood. Yes, and who's our high priest? This is what it's coming down to, y'all. That's what the choice has to be made. What priest are you following? You know, now if you're following a man priest, that's terrible. If you're following a Pharisee, that's even more worse, because it's saying if you follow that doctrine, you can't inherit the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
So y'all, we're going to have to go over a few things today. In today's class, as we continue our journey with Paul as well, we'll be using some of his writings to understand the order of Melchizedek, which we are under, and we have one high priest. What you got right there?
And that's a good topic, because a lot of people dispute everything that Paul say. They actually don't believe in none of his writings, because they say he was an antichrist.
Right.
He was preaching his own doctrine.
Right.
It wasn't see, they couldn't discern the difference between the old and the new covenant.
Right, absolutely, bro. They could not. And some of them didn't want to, because it killed the money. Yep. So, you know, and like you're saying, that's a very good point, because they talk about Paul, well, you can't use no more Peter writings either. Because Peter says some wrestle with Paul writings to their own destruction.
But he said not only that, but if they wrestle with Paul's writing, they wrestle with all the other scriptures.
Yes, sir.
Destruction.
Yes, sir. So, you know, just like it's saying, you need to start with Peter and see why Peter don't agree like you. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because he said, the Messiah did not send me but to preach the gospel.
That's right.
Now, if this is not the gospel or the good news of Messiah, then you need to be pointing out that where Paul is telling bad news of the gospel.
That's right.
But we're going to get some understanding, because Paul was a Pharisee, a Benjamite, that understood the law of Aaron backwards and forward, because he would receive permission to put people to death.
Yeah.
And you have to know the law to understand that.
That's right. He asked for permission to go arrest those who were going against the law.
That's right.
Before he was blinded on the road to Damascus.
That's right.
That's what his mission was, to go and kick in houses that wasn't following the law, statutes, and judgments.
Boy, would he kick them in?
He was kicking them in.
They doing home invasion?
Boy, look here.
Home invasion. Come here. Come here. We heard you're not abiding by the law.
According to the high priest of the temple.
According to the high priest of the temple under the order of Aaron.
Right.
And he was putting them to death. That's why he stoned Steve. He was the one that gave all the killing bricks to stone Steve.
Uh-oh, boy, you say the killing bricks?
Yeah, he gave the final blows, and then danced around it. Around his body.
Boy.
You know, we seen it done before, back in '91 during the riots.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, sir.
But see, they just like them Israelites that didn't believe Paul could change, or was blinded and then saw the gospel, saw Christ.
Yeah.
So these them same Israelites that don't want to believe, but they know it wasn't about Paul. They never believed in Messiah.
That's what it's come down
to,
y'all.
It had nothing to do with Paul. It's got they using Paul as the scapegoat.
As the scapegoat, yes, sir.
He's just the fall guy for their non-belief.
That's right.
Well, in a free case.
They free casing Paul and Peter.
So
because
yeah.
if they don't believe Paul, they don't believe Peter, they don't believe anything.
None of them. Put it down.
Nobody.
Yes, sir. Y'all, so today's class, Melchizedek law of diet/clothes. Because something's going out here, y'all, in the latter days, y'all. We're getting a lot of videos out here. We're getting videos about how we should be dressed, and concerning of fibers of clothes, mixing of different type of fibers of clothes. So we're getting a little bit of videos out there that's kind of have a lot of things in questions, as well as our diet of the fowl, F-O-W-L, not foul, F-O-U-L, fowl, F-O-W-U-L, the birds, the legal and illegal birds that we can eat. Video out there saying no more chicken, no more turkey. We're going to clear that up again. We did it on the radio show once, but we're going to do it again today. And the reason being, a lot of people think that we agree with that. There's some videos Jacob used on the Walk on the Dark Side, and it's from this crew called Lights, Camera, Action. Thoughts, Camera, Action. They put out some good work, y'all, but Jacob used those just like he would use a video from a news article to prove a point. But he would always tell you, they got some other doctrines that sound strange, so we use what's according to the law. But because people hear the term lights, what is it? Lights, camera, action? Thoughts, camera, action. They say, well, everybody must be believing the same thing. And that's not the case, y'all. We use videos to express certain things as long as they according to the law of the Bible, because it's the only measuring stick we can judge any matter by. We can't do it by personal interpretation. We don't endorse anything but the keeping of the law and the commandments. If they doing that, we on the same team. If they ain't, then we have to get understanding, because it may be some things that are not understood fully about our diet and the changes. And what I mean by that, you'll see simple things like, can you play with a pigskin football like they used to do in the National Football League? And you'll have everybody say no, because it says we ain't supposed to touch the pig. It says to consume it as food, because it's diet, but its skin can be used, for other things. You're not eating. Now, if you start eating the skin, then it's a problem.
You eating pork rinds?
Yeah, it's a different thing. So you can't touch its carcass for food. It's not food. Just like moonshine will run a car, but it's not gasoline.
Right.
It's gonna run rough, just like pork make you run rough. It's not food.
Right.
And it's not talking about its carcass, because if we don't, we're gonna have problems with the badger, who's of the weasel family, and the badger skin covers the Ark of the Covenant. It covers the laws of the Most High. You can't have it like that if you're saying you can't touch nothing. You don't understand. It's only talking about food only. What you got, sis? You had a question?
I just wanted to ask, when I go places, some of the pantries, they give you pork.
Right.
I cut it up and give it to stray cats in
Uh-huh.
my backyard. Is that okay?
That's perfectly fine.
Because as long as the motive
Be- be-
is not meat eating.
Because they're beasts of prey.
Right.
That means they eat any flesh. It don't say a cat has to eat this flesh. A cat has to eat that flesh.
Because the beast that has no soul.
Right.
So it's not being judged.
And
The beast, when it dies, it goes into the earth.
right.
And filters back into the earth system. But mankind has a soul to be judged by obedience and disobedience. And so they're not on the same field, the same playing field as humans.
Right. And the main thing you said stray cats. So technically you're just feeding a cat that's gonna feed itself hunting anyway off of whatever's available. A bird, a rat.
Put it in the trash can.
He going in there to get it. So now the
difference.
beasts of your house,
Right, that's
like
the difference.
Elijah won't feed his beasts unclean
Anything.
meat.
My dogs and my cat don't get anything that has pork or any kind of byproducts in it. They eat a premium food
Like we eat.
Absolutely.
because they're residing in my household. So I can't bring anything that's defilement into my household.
That's right.
And feed anything that's in my household that I care for.
Right.
And
Then that's law breaking.
right. Because the scripts say the dogs eat of the crumbs of the table.
Right.
So what's the crumbs on your table, legal or illegal?
It has to be lawful.
So if they're legal, that's what he's eating. He's eating you scrape your plate into his bowl, if that's what you do. So that's how we used to do. You know how you scrape the plate, put it in a dog bowl if it's nice chunks of meat. So that's the diet. The dogs eat the crumbs of the table. And that's what the Samaritan woman said, yes, Lord. So if the crumbs on your table has a different diet, you may end up with different results with your animal. But everything has to be according to the doctrine, y'all. So it's simple work. Now, if that dog get hungry and been chained up outside for a week, when that dog break that chain, because he breaking it, because look, The dog will look back and tell you I can hunt more food than you feed me. Boy, he'll hit that alley and hit some other spots he ain't supposed to be in. So y'all got to understand what we're talking about. Shalom out. So y'all, we want to clear a few of those things up today, y'all. We're doing with the law so that we get understanding. We'll also bring it from the perspective of the priesthood that we're under, y'all. And those of Shalom Moshe. And this is the understanding, y'all, we need to have, so that if anybody asks us, you ask them, what priesthood are you speaking of? Y'all, if we don't know the priesthood, then that means we're going to be chasing commandments of men who want to sit in Moses and Aaron's seat. There can be no high priest after the order of Aaron unless they can trace their lineage back to Aaron. Is that right, Elijah? You have to be able to let the word high priest come out of your mouth. We at least going to start you there first. Show us the lineage. Or we casting you out like they did in Ezra and Nehemiah concerning being a priest. Right. An earthly priest that dwells on the earth. But we're talking about the priest that dwell at the right hand of the Father, who had that priesthood at the beginning before Adam was created.
That's right.
He had Melchizedek on his chest.
That's right.
So y'all, let's get right to it. We got any questions or concerns before we get started? Any questions or concerns? Y'all know this Bible study, raise your hand. And y'all, we're talking about the administration of Christ that's mentioned in 1 Corinthians 12:29. Don't let them fool you, talking about you're going to be captains of thousands. That's not under the order of Melchizedek. Abraham was under the order of Melchizedek. When did he captained over 50? He went and hired assassins of other nations to go help him get Lot back. Killers, trained killers, he went to hire of other nations.
That's right.
But he wasn't no captain of 50, and he paid them with the bounty. So y'all, we have to clearly understand those are set up moves. They haters of Messiah, and they don't like his administration. Like we say, mentioned in 1 Corinthians 12:29 to state, first apostles,
Then.
secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers. That's what we do. Down here, we ask the Most High, we have to understand all the rules of what it takes to be a teacher. Instant in season, out of season. Apt to teach. That means apt to teach. That means, look, you caught me right when the game was on. No, none of that. That's not apt to teach.
No, turn the TV off.
Turn the TV off.
Let me get this script for you.
And we have to do it according to the rules of the Bible. Everything must be established with two witnesses that paint the same subject.
Precept upon precept.
Not two that say the same word. Tree has 10,000 meanings. You have to make sure the two trees that you use are for the subject matter at hand.
That's right.
Make sure the witnesses are saying the same thing.
There you go. Concerning the subject matter.
That's right.
Because I could go get different things, 1,000 trees. What the first tree problem we had?
In the garden.
It was in the garden. The tree of what?
Life and a tree of good and evil.
The tree of good and evil. So tree worship started way early than we talking about a physical form. And when you understand Messiah saying, know a tree by its fruits, he talking about the garden at the beginning, because that's where he dwelt, this priesthood at the beginning. He don't run Aaron, and no disrespect to Aaron, but what we're talking about, Christ don't need Aaron to train him. He trained Aaron.
And Aaron is in the middle.
That's right. So y'all, if there's no questions or concerns, we're going to start this off with 1 John 4, verse 1 through 5, y'all. We're going to get it established, y'all. We use things just like y'all, when the script say, let no corrupt communication come out of your mouth. That don't mean you can't curse. Or things like that. What that means is corrupt communication is to teach somebody a different doctrine. Law breaking, that's corrupt communication. It says, except ye edify. If I'm going to talk about the devil, I'm going to tell you how to stay away from him. I'm going to edify his dangerous behavior towards the devil. And this is what they're going to do. They're going to tell you to do this. They're going to tell you to get a crystal and do that. So I'm going to communicate corrupt communication only so you be edified. This also means that when I'm communicating with you, I have to make sure curse words stay with corrupt communication of a strange doctrine. I can't say, let me hit you with some MF revelations. Man, and I put some GD Psalms on him. I can't do that because now you're bringing righteousness, cursing, and blessings coming out of the same mouth. If I say that wicked MF Satan, then that goes with that corrupt communication. But we have to be mindful in our minds that, you know, man, I hit him with, you know, man, I bust his head with that, you know, that GD Isaiah. You got to be careful that you don't say those things. You can't mix light with darkness. You keep darkness with darkness. Well, you talking about the devil? That rotten, no good bastard. And bastard in the world, it means a illegal son. A wayward son. So y'all, we get a clear understanding of that. We good? You got any questions too, by? Okay, let's get it. 1 John. Okay. Yeah. 1 John 4, 1 through 5. Y'all, let's just say again, y'all, we study after the high priest, the order of Melchizedek, Yeshua, and we read the law, male, female, rich and poor, free and bond, Jew and Gentile must be up under this law. Let's get it.
1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit.
Do what, Elisha?
Believe not every spirit.
So the Most High say, try every spirit to see if it be of God. Y'all, we're not concerned with flesh. Flesh looks just like us, and it can have a whole different mindset.
Shining.
Yes, sir.
Looking good.
Looking good. What, Boaz? Looking good.
Shining and looking good.
Yeah.
Dressed up. No money in the pocket.
And the Most High say they're full of dead men bones.
That's right.
They look just like them grave markers out of Jefferson Barracks. Ain't they so pretty? In line, ain't they? But what's underneath, like?
Dead men bones.
Dead men bones. Go ahead.
Corruption, the worms. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of Yah, because many false prophets are going out into the world.
What's going out into the world?
False prophets. Hereby know ye the spirit of Yah. Every spirit that confesseth that Yahweh Shah HaMashiach is come in the flesh is of Elohim.
So that's the first tip off. Every spirit that first, this is what we got to get to first. This is how we know a believer. And we're not just talking about just saying I believe in Messiah, because he done told us many should say I believe in your name. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know you. You have to believe in his birth. You have to believe in his spiritual nature before his earthly birth. Because he walked this earth before he was born of a virgin. He talked to Abraham before Mary was even thought about.
Talk to Noah.
So y'all, we got to have it. Yes, sir. So we got to have a clear understanding of when we say we believe in the Messiah, we got to believe all the way back to let us make man. That was him and his father.
That's right.
It said the scripts, Hebrews say he was the first creation of all creation. It was created for him and by him.
That's Colossians chapter 1.
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
And every spirit that confesseth not that Yahweh Shah HaMashiach is come in the flesh is not of Yahweh.
Is not of what?
Is not of Yahweh.
So you can't mix Messianic and non-Messianic Hebrews together, because we all know we Hebrew. That's a problem. Right. He didn't let the Pharisees mix with the disciples, did they?
No.
He said stay away from the Pharisees. A little leaven and do what?
Leaven the whole lump.
If anybody tell you we just ain't sure if that was the Christ, it could have been this guy over here, then that's a problem, y'all, that we need to stay away from.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And this is that spirit of Antichrist.
What is that spirit, Elisha?
Antichrist. Whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is it in the world. Ye are the children, ye are of Yahweh, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world.
That's right.
They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them.
See, the world heareth them, y'all, and we got to be careful, y'all, with these videos that's flying around the internet. Y'all, all of them are tied into 110.4. I read with Tobias out of Boston. And we was just discussing clothing, which we were going to get into today. We're going over diet and clothing concerning the issues at hand. You know, and it was a video of some heathen out there saying the clothing that we wear supercharges our spirits and different things. If you wear these clothes, you get supercharged. I ain't never read that in the scripture nowhere. That's made up. That's taking the scripture and then you interpret it how you want to interpret it. If that's the case, if clothing got you closer to God, then we in trouble. Because they'll lock the clothing down on us and make sure we can't communicate with them.
What happens when you wear clothing and they just start stinking?
Oh boy, look here. And we're going to clear up all the matter.
That's corrupt communication.
Yeah, that is corrupt communication. Yes, sir. So y'all.
It ain't stinking leg, it's stinking hand.
Right, 1 Tim 4, y'all. And we're going to go right into Romans 14. And we're going to get some understanding, y'all, because we're still on a journey with Paul, who was formerly Shaul, on the order of Melchizedek, to switching from Aaron to Melchizedek. And what better than the apostle that was ordered to do such things? So we're going to read from the understanding, and like he said in Acts 24, Acts 28, if you have any problem with Paul, you first got to show where he's breaking the law. You must show where he's breaking the law, and then we don't have to deal with Paul, do we?
That's right.
Or where he
But they can never.
Yeah. But all that other mumbo jumbo, cause you call him Pauline, that's supposed to scare me not to quote his rights, Elijah. And I want to mess with that sissy.
Yeah, all right.
No, you call him what you want to call him.
I bet you wouldn't have called him that in his face.
Yeah, right. Ask Pete about that.
Ask Peter. Ask Peter.
Boy, look here. He told the ear cutter. One word about Peter, swore it.
That ear gone.
1 Tim 4, y'all.
1 Timothy.
And why,
Chapter 4.
And why we're going back to this again is to let us know what's going to happen in the last day. We keep saying we're in the last days, don't we, y'all?
Yeah.
And look, y'all, for everybody that says Happy New Year, I just responded. Look. If this is the fine line, y'all. If it ain't 2022, then we have to wait till March. And then you start your daily count from there. Everything else you use still have to have 2021 on it till March. If your birthday in January, you have to wait till next January to get in on 2022. I want y'all to understand that the new year is for our feast, so we know how to start our feast in the beginning of spring and different things.
Break it down, bro.
But there's a civil year that's counted, that keeps us in count with where we're at today. Right. You know, you have to understand that, because if we don't, then we have to back everything up to every year starting in January and minus all of January and February to get, because all of those belong to the prior year then.
Yes.
They would have to be. So we're not saying that the new year don't start in the springtime. It does, for understanding the feast days and your appointments. You know, he wants you to understand that's from that portion of it.
Sound like both of them serve a purpose.
Both of them serves a purpose.
Because how do we know what day and time we're in if we don't go according to what we have ahead? I mean, at hand.
That's right.
When you come to cash in your check for your job, yesterday was the new year.
Right.
When you get through.
Right.
That's the date they use.
I mean, to say 2022, we may not be saying Happy New Year, but you saying, hey, blessed 2022.
Right.
Because when you get your paycheck, it's not going to say 2021.
Tell them to give it back until they put
2020, 22.
Otherwise, they
Right.
gonna say it's not valid.
Right.
It's not valid until the
Right.
your new year.
Right.
Then your check is not valid until your new year.
Right. Because
Until
it has to be in its completion, y'all. So, y'all, we're not going to tear. Go ahead, Thomas, but I'm going to make another point on that, what Elijah's saying.
Exodus 12 and 2 on that note.
Go ahead, what Exodus 12 and 2 say?
He ain't there. He just.
Oh, you talking about the Passover. This should be the beginning of years for you. Go ahead.
Y'all move so fast, I ain't want to pass that.
No, you move so slow.
Oh, right. Right. Go ahead.
And we control your arms and your book.
Right, go ahead. Tell me.
All right. Exodus chapter 12, verse 1.
Yeah.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, verse 2, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you.
See, and when we understand that, it says beginning of months. Months are ordained by the moon. Years are ordained by the sun. If we went by the month, you can't get 364.5 days a year. You can only get 360 max, and that's if you do every moon month as 30 days. If you go, the moon will do 28 days. It'll do 29 days. It'll jump 31 days on you. What do you do with the missing days if you don't run 30 all the way across? What do you do with those? Then you just can't wipe them off, can you?
No.
So we have to understand it's the beginning of years for us because it sets our feast days after the month. That's why it's called the new moon, not the new sun. The new sun is what we're concerned with. And we have to understand what that means is everything is based off of Christ's birth. BC or AD.
That's right.
Before Christ's era.
Or after that.
Egyptians use it to determine their time. Now, how they the champions of the world and they need Christ's birth to determine what year it is. Do it from Pharaoh time. Let's count Adam from Pharaoh time. Where's Pharaoh time? Where's Buddha's time? Or is everybody time going off the year 2022 BC or AD after Christ or Anno Domini, meaning after the death of Christ? And then we have before the death of Christ, that time is counted. 14 generations from Adam to David. 14 generations from David to Messiah. What set of time are you using?
Right. See, the Most High is not the author of confusion.
That's right.
A lot of things we take out of context and we make it confusing to ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Because we're more concerned about things that don't even concern salvation. That's right. And because we want to puff up our chest with knowledge.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Has absolutely nothing to do with salvation. That's why he says stay out of the clouds, stay from up there. Because that's going to divert your attention and your understanding away from salvation.
That's right.
The whole key, the eye of the prize is salvation.
That's right.
Not by what's going on up in there.
Be not dismayed at the heaven.
Be not dismayed for the heathens.
What you got back there, Tommy?
Confirming why they do what they do. Mark chapter 7, starting at verse 7.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
And that's what we're talking about.
Verse 8. For laying aside the commandment of God.
What they do?
Laying aside the commandment of God. Ye hold the tradition of men as the washing of pots and cups and many other such like things ye do.
See, so what happens is commandments of men come in and they dictate to you what the scripture should say. And the first thing they're going to do is convince you that there's a tampering with the Bible. And I was sent to straighten out all the tampering. Then what we waiting on the Messiah for? Why are we wasting our time with that? We wasting our time, ain't we?
Yeah. We should have been just talking to you from the start.
Look, if he gonna write it in our hearts, and you writing it in our hearts now, then we can skip Jeremiah 31's prophecy. Then can't we?
Skip it all, bro.
Y'all, we're not here to play games. We just want you to understand the internet is exploding. There's so many videos coming out there, y'all. There's so many videos about aliens and different things, y'all. Why you can never see a clear picture of a UFO is because they're created by the United States and Russia. They don't want you to see a clear picture of it. Right. This is what you have to understand. Supernatural flesh can't crash and die.
That's right.
You can't find an alien body no more than you can find. Then you need to find Satan's body. They're supernatural. They're angels. They can't die. You can't have a pilot, a supernatural a demon driving a spaceship and it crash and then you find this dead carcass. You can't find it. They're supernatural. 1 Corinthians 15:51. There's flesh terrestrial and there's flesh celestial. Celestial flesh can't die on this earth. Y'all understand what we're saying? So don't get caught up in the UFOs looking at them. I look at them to see how far their advancement of the sky show that they're going to fool you with supernatural technology. Right. I'm talking about alien technology that they're getting, but the pilots are still human.
Yeah. 2 Thessalonians 2.
So we go 2 Thessalonians 2, absolutely, bro. So y'all, let's move on, y'all. We wanted to get that explained. 1 Tim 4, because this is where because we're in the last days, and y'all, 2022, you can't count but from Christ's birth. And y'all, the farthest we are off is about 2 years, because Herod said 2 years and under, kill all the babies. So we know he's either between 0 and 2 years old. So at worst, all we are is in 2020, or we're in 2024. One or the other if we go with the 2-year situation. So let's just quit playing games with each other, because Christ numbered the Sabbath day. He said on the Sabbath day, so he was keeping the weekly Sabbath. Not the Sabbath from the moon that jumps every other week. You can have the Sabbath on Tuesday according to that. You can have it on the next Thursday if you want. But you can't get 7 days, 4 weeks consecutively if the moon crashed in 29 days. You're going to be short a day. Or you're going to be more than a day. What you do with the 2 overlaps? 7 times 4 is what? 28, ain't it? Y'all look slow on the math today. Am I right? Huh? 7 times 4 is 28?
Yeah, you rehearsed that before you came.
Yeah, right. Look, if it's 30 days in a month, we got to do something with them other 2 days to get to keep the Sabbath on course.
That's right, where they go.
But the sun runs 7 days, 364.5 days a year, and just like Enoch chapter 71 through Enoch chapter 80 says, those lights work together.
Yes.
If you put it all on the moon, you're gonna leave the sun out. The moon is the lesser light, like commandments of men are lesser than, like the Messiah is compared to the sun, not compared to the moon.
That's right.
Let's get some understanding. You can't grow crops under moonlight.
No, you got to have a strong.
You got to have sunlight.
Or that has the equivalent of sunlight.
And notice one thing. Where does the moon get its light?
From the sun.
From the sun. The moon has no light. The sun gives the moon its light, and you're chasing the moon. It's only to be chased to keep our feast days.
The appointments.
The appointments. It has nothing to do with the weekly Sabbath. But we gonna get some understanding. What you got back there? Who had the hand up? Go ahead, bro.
Kevin Jenkins in the chat got a question. It says, when the new year starts, does the sun set over Holy Jerusalem in March?
Well, see, once again, we're talking about, it says a new month for you, the beginning of months. It's just saying when you should start counting for your feast days. It got nothing to do with that. The bottom line is you can't say 2022 until March. You can't have it both ways. So all of your documentation, everything you sign, if your birthday's in January, you got to wait till January 22 to say I'm another age.
It's not valid until.
It's not valid until if you use that understanding, so to speak. Look, Betty White, y'all know that the one actor, the Golden Girl, 99 years old. She would have been 100 Monday or Tuesday. Is she close enough to 100 than she is to 99? Why don't they just say she 100? But they can't. You know why? Because she's 99 years, 11 months, and 27 days old. You can't give her 100 until the clock rolls over. You can't round it off. The Most High dealing holding them, just like he said, we gonna do 400 years, that means we won't do 500.
Right.
We end up doing 430.
Shabbat shalom, sister.
So y'all, we got to be clear on the difference in what the great light do. The sun was the greater light, ain't that what it say?
Yeah.
It's the greater light. So how you putting all your energy into the lesser light? What you got back there, bro?
Oh, Genesis 1:14, it says, and God said, let there be light in the firmament of the heaven
Uh-huh.
to divide the day from the night.
Right.
And let them be for signs and for seasons,
Right.
and for days and years.
See, for seasons is the moon take care of the seasons.
Right.
You know, and the sun take care of the year, so you keep your count. You cannot get 364 days, 0.5 out of the moon. I don't care how you do it. It's not going to do it. It's not going to allow you to do it to it. Because the moon follows orders.
Yes.
It says you can go 28 days. On occasion, you may do 30. It's rare that you'll do 31, but you'll drop back down. The sun is consistent. If the sun ain't consistent, y'all, you don't know how old you are. You got to go back and remove all of February and January's out of your life. Do that make any sense? Like what I'm talking about? You got to remove them out of your life. Who got a birthday coming up here in January? So, whatever your age gonna be, you got to wait till next January if we call this, if we're saying it's not the new year. It's not the new year for our beginning of feast day months. It's not the year for that. But no matter what we say, what's on your phone right now? How are you gonna sign any documentation? Sign here and date. Is anybody gonna put 21 on there after today? Are you? Well, who you fooling but yourself then?
It's like my son was born on leap year. He was born on the 29th of February. But his birthday, they would not let me put it the 27th. It had to be March 1st.
It had to be March 1st because you got to get, you know, at least 30, 31 days in there. That's what they call leap year babies. Their birthday change every year. Do you know they can celebrate their birthday this year or they can celebrate it 3 days later, 4 days later? Because of the missing days of the month. They birthday switch. Ours been the same, ain't it?
Yep.
Why do leap year babies get the extra? No, dog, I ain't doing on 27 this week. Dog. Y'all see me on March 1st. That's when I'm going to do it. I got right. I'm a leap year baby. I get 4 days, you don't. Well, that's in the scripture. So, y'all, we can't mix commandments of men up with this.
That's how the world like a mug.
But we have to stay focused. The sun has its job and the moon has its job. Right. When we talk about the beginning of months, y'all, understand it didn't start off the beginning of years. Did it?
No.
Did it, Thomas?
Sir.
It started off with but this is the beginning of months, didn't it?
Yes,
it said
sir.
month.
Yes,
related to moon. When is the new month or new moon so we know what feast days we in? That's all we doing is tracking it to stay apart from the rest of the world because all of them do their feast days off the year and we're only talking about feast days. We're not talking about counting your age. If we're counting age, you can't play 365 days. You cannot. Or you don't know how old you is. Lysa, you could actually be 22.
Benjamin Button.
Not in my
Okay, what you say, boy, look here.
not in my
You
experience.
say, boy, the kneecaps tell the difference, don't they? Look, and they don't say teach me to number my months. In Psalm 90 and 10, it say teach me to number my years. You have to know how old you are. It didn't say Abraham was 175,000 months. Did it? It said he lived 175 years. 364.5 or 360. Which one should we count the years with for Abraham?
Yeah, so will it be determined by the moon or the sun?
Or the sun? Yo, it's not hard. It's just putting things into perspective. Go ahead, brother. We're going to move on.
Sirach chapter 43 and verse 5.
Yes, sir.
Great is the Lord that made it, and at his commandment runneth hastily. He made the moon also.
Hold on, start that over. You missed something, didn't you? Go ahead. What you?
Well, that's what I started at the 5. I started at maybe 1.
It's about the sun, ain't it?
Yeah. We'll go back up.
Yeah.
This is Sirach 43. The first one I read was Genesis 1 and 14. Sirach chapter 43 and verse 1.
Yeah.
The pride of the height and clear firmament, the beauty of heaven with his glorious show. The sun, when it appeareth, declareth at his rising a marvelous instrument.
What does it declare?
A marvelous instrument.
At its rising. Let's read some more.
The work of the Most High. At noon it parcheth the country.
What it does?
It parcheth the country.
How you gonna get noontime out of the moon? Go ahead, bro.
And who can abide the burning heat thereof?
Look, when does the moon burn you at high moon?
At high noon, it's
Talk about high moon though. High moon. What's gonna happen at high moon?
Boy, if
High moon ain't no such thing as high moon. The moon is the same temperature all night. Go ahead. What else it say?
Verse 4. A man going a furnace is in works of heat. But the sun burneth the mountains 3 times more, breathing out fiery vapors, and sending forth bright beams. It dimmeth the eyes. Great is the Lord that made it, and at his commandment runneth hastily. He made the moon also.
What did he make also?
The moon.
So don't y'all see how this sounds secondarily? Yeah. Go ahead.
He made the moon also to serve in her season.
In her what?
In her season. For a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of peace.
Look, read that part again. From the what?
From the moon is the sign of peace. A light that decreaseth in her perfection.
A light that decreases in her perfection. Yo, it's only for the feast day. We may have a Passover in March. Next year it may be in April.
And then we had it like that because my daughter was born on a Passover
Yes, sir.
97, and it was in April. It was April the 23rd. Passover 97. We just had a Passover a few years ago. It was in March.
That's right.
So it changes depending on the moon. The new moon.
That's right.
But the years are consistent because the sun rises and sets every single day.
Every single
at
day.
the same time.
That's right.
It never leaves its course.
And I'm telling y'all how powerful the sun is, and everything needs it to grow. Have y'all ever wondered why when you're driving down the highway and you see a hill, the trees are still standing straight up on the hill? And you would think if the hill is leaning, if the hill is like this, and you got a tree, shouldn't a tree be growing like that, even with how the angle of the hill? But the tree grows straight up because it looks for the sun. If you got a plant under a roof, when you come out there, when that plant start growing, that plant gonna grow out like that, looking for the sun. And that's the same thing that happened at noontime. Plants on hill grow straight up because that's when the sun feeds them.
Right.
They don't grow sideways out like that on a hill. Trees are straight up on a hill, ain't it?
Yes.
Because they have to reach for the sun.
And you'll notice anything that grows underneath them that doesn't get enough sun, it will grow out to try to grasp hold to some of that sunlight.
Need that sunlight, don't it?
It reaches out.
It says Christ's strength is like this.
I've been gardening for the past 5 years.
You know what it is.
I see it all the time with my crops. The ones the first ones that bloom, they go straight up. Everything that comes underneath it spreads out because it's trying to get the sun from underneath that shadow.
What vitamin D come from the sun or the moon? Huh? You ain't no vitamin D from the moon? From the moonlight? If you did, it's still coming from the sun because that's where the moon get its light from. Y'all, it ain't hard, is it? Let's read some more, y'all. 1:10:4.
All right. 1 chapter 4, verse 1.
Yeah.
Now the Spirit speaketh expressly, that in the latter time some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils.
Now we just read try the spirits to see if we on the same path. Y'all, it didn't say try the flesh. It said try the spirits. And this just said some will be speaking expressly in the spirit in the latter days to depart from the faith with seducing spirits. There's a different type of spirit out there opposite to the Holy Spirit. And they're saying people is chasing it, and they ain't understanding that spirit is getting rid of the priesthood and the belief in Messiah. Because the next step gonna lead you to say the Bible is tampered with. Those are seducing spirits. How anybody gonna prove anything by you to the Bible and you say it's tampered with?
And then he says they have doctrines of devils. Right.
If a woman say that's your baby, you say that DNA tampered with. Do you think the state want to hear that? No, that DNA is tampered with, Lisha. That ain't my baby.
Then the government say you using a doctrine of the devil.
Boy, look here.
So I'm gonna charge you.
Yeah. Let's read some more, y'all.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
Speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron.
Having what seared?
Their conscience.
See, it's their conscience, y'all. It ain't ours, because we know Genesis to Revelation is 100% pure. There's no tampering. The only tampering is with the mind. It says their conscience is seared. They're having a hot time trying to figure this out. Not us. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
Forbidding to marry.
Uh-huh.
And commanding to abstain from meat.
Uh-huh.
Which Yahweh hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth.
What is the truth about meats, y'all? We have to go to law. What's the truth about meats, Shalom?
Deuteronomy 14,
Leviticus. That's the truth about meats. Y'all, if we let anybody start us anywhere else about meats, we in trouble. Because now you're chasing commandments of men that Thomas spoke about earlier. It's not law. It can only be sanctified by truth in law. Law sanctifies the truth. Every time you go to court, it's either a truth or a lie, ain't it?
Yep.
And if you break the seatbelt law, they're going to give you the truth. This is this. If they show the police body cam and he stop you and they show your fingers like this, before he get to the car, who you fooling? It's on video, ain't it, Elisha? Your conscience is seared. I hope he didn't see it. I've been practicing this. Yeah. Why just practice buckle, click and buckle and go about your way?
A body.
Why you got to figure out now I want to try to fool the police? It's still your conscience seared with a hot iron because you hoping he don't come and say, and I'm going to hit you with the seat. No, it's on. You see it's on now. And then they show you the video. What you doing? My shoulder, I got eczema. I was just scratching it. Okay.
Eczema.
What else to say? What you got to about?
Brother Noah in the chat asked, in the book of Josephus, chapter 15, Josephus mentioned that Abraham was there 215 years after Jacob came. Daniel, elaborate.
After Jacob came where?
After Jacob. And it says, can Daniel elaborate?
What do you mean? I'm trying to understand what you said. 200?
Again, I might have read it too fast. In the book of Josephus, chapter 15, Josephus mentioned that Abraham was there 215 years after Jacob. 215
years after Jacob.
He was
it's some you're not understanding about the law. Abraham only lived 175 years. So you already, 25 and plus 15, you 35 years out of somewhere there's a problem. But what is Josephus saying? See, we need the subject matter of what Josephus is talking about, unless Josephus is talking about, just like Galatians 3 tell us, the order of Aaron cannot break the promise that was given to Abraham after 430 years. Abraham, you have to start our captivity in Egypt from Abraham's promise, because we only did 250 years or 215 in servitude in Egypt. It starts though when Abraham got the problem. When you count that, it's 430 years. It can't disannul the promise. We can't. What happened at Mount Sinai can't disannul the promise with Abraham. If you start to count from there of captivity, he said, "Know for a surety your children going into captivity for you." And they say the vision scared Abraham to death. That's when it started. He wasn't controlling Canaan, was nary was any other Hebrew controlling Canaan.
He hadn't even been there.
Hamites were controlling Canaan land.
He hadn't even been in Canaan yet.
So we need the rest of the Josephus, 3 verses before and 3 after, so we can get to subject matter.
Yeah, I mean, because he's just putting it out there vague, and we don't know what he's talking about.
Right. Let's get some more. Where we at? At 1 Timothy 4, verse 5. Verse 4, you Elijah.
4.
Yeah.
For every creature of Yahweh is good.
What is every creature?
Good.
Uh-huh.
And nothing to be refused.
Nothing to be refused. Go ahead.
If it be received with thanksgiving.
Uh-huh.
For it is sanctified by the word of Yahweh and prayer.
So it has to be sanctified by word and prayer. When you pray over your food, you can't pray over unclean food. That's not sanctified. There's nowhere in the Bible that say you can pray over hog meat and it'll be good. You can try Mark 7:7, what goes in the body don't defile you, but what comes out. Then pork defiles you when you put it in the toilet. It's still coming out of you, ain't it? You still would have to answer that portion of it. How does it defile then when it comes out of you? What are you saying? If you eat doo-doo pork, you're going to be defiled? See, it don't make sense, y'all, if you don't understand the law. It'll cause confusion when you struggle with trying to, but it said what comes out of you defiles you. If it come out of you, it's okay to eat pork. That'll defile you because it's coming out of you to tell somebody to break the law.
It's coming out of your heart.
It's coming out of your heart. That's what defileth a man. Go ahead and eat that pork. It's good. That'll defile you because if you teach men so to break the least one of these, what it say your punishment is?
To be the least in
the last
kingdom.
one or never to enter into the kingdom. When you say, man, Lil Willie say he coming to your party, man, Lil Willie be the last one to get in my party. Does that mean after you let everybody in and then there's Lil Willie, you say, okay, you the last one, you can come in? Or do that mean he'll never get in there?
He's never getting in.
We know what it means. Go ahead, what you got, 2 by?
Y'all say in the chat, there's a question asking, is it okay to eat food that have been hybrid? For example, like chicken. Like within the same family of animals, of course. Did some research. Chicken today is mixed with fowls from Asia.
See, and that's what we're again. That's what we're glad we're on this. Thank you, bro. We'll get through all of that today.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And look, it say everything after its kind. Is grapes without seeds grapes? I'm just asking. Now look, think about it before you answer. Is it still grapes? It's grapes. It's just grapes that can't produce. Is a man without testicles still a man? Huh?
He's a
Who
male.
said no? He can't be a woman?
He's a male.
He can't be a woman. We said without testicles, he got something else though.
He just can't. He can't reproduce.
He just can't reproduce. Grapes are still grapes without seed. They just can't reproduce. See, what y'all have to understand, Monsanto put the lock on seeds. So we say what get reproduced. You don't. Because grapes, seedless grapes are still being produced. So you can't, the offspring of that doesn't allow you to reproduce it. Just them, because they got the lock on the seeds.
They got the seeds. You don't have access to the seeds that come out of the grapes when you eat them to replant them. Like a lot of the stuff that my wife and I plant, like we can restart it from the seeds that's in the fruit or the vegetables that we have already purchased. So we can make more from that. But if it has no seeds, we can't reproduce that vegetable or that fruit. Okay?
Right. You too. So try to understand it like this, sis. You got grapes with the seeds. You plant them, they produce more grapes, right? Okay, so now you get a mad scientist. That grape that's produced, he extract whatever causes the seed to put a seed in the next offspring. It does it. So you look at men the same way. Because the grapes is the least thing you'll have to worry about. It's an individual. Because a man is told to be fruitful and multiply. So if he's missing one of his parts now, he can't keep a commandment. Whose fault is that? How he was produced. Huh? God don't make mistakes. If he did, it wouldn't be Deuteronomy 23:7, because he said, if man has wounded in the stones, you can't be a priest. He's saying that's not my fault. What were y'all doing on the other side of midnight could be the fault.
Yep.
Bringing in extracurricular activity. You could be taking fertility pills
Or mindset.
to have a baby, and it causes problems for the offspring. That has nothing to do with the Most High. Your baby got a flat nose, that's nothing to do with the Most High. You may have been laying wrong, or you may have not done the instructions what he told Samson's mama to do. You cannot let anything come into you, everything you put in you going into that baby. So y'all, we just want to understand, y'all, when people are controlling things, they want you to say what's hybrid. If a grape is hybrid, it doesn't have anything to do with the seeds, it would be mixed with an orange. Hey man, y'all tried the new grape orange? You understand what I'm saying? It would have to, the front end of it would have to be a grape and the back end would be an orange. Then you got mixed fruit. But what we got here is vegetable, or we got something that won't allow us to reproduce. Did it say you can't eat it, or it say you can't plant like that? Which you won't be able to plant no way, nothing without no seeds in it. Monsanto locked the seeds down, y'all, is all I'm saying, so that we can control how we're able to eat ourselves or feed ourselves, to reproduce for ourselves. They want you to have to come to them. That's why Bill Gates owns the majority, I want y'all to understand this, the majority of the farmland in America is owned by Bill Gates. No other, I ain't talking about the other land just having some mountains over here. I'm talking about, it said farmland. What do you do with farmland, y'all? Do you know how America gonna put sanctions on Russia if they cross over into Crimea? Is that the right? No, wherever they fighting at now.
Crimea, that's right.
They can't go toe to toe with nuclear war because you're gonna block out the sun. They're not concerned with blocking out the moon, are they? Sun provides heat. Absence of heat mean what? Cold. So we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is not send you no wheat. Do you know America is just like Egypt? Everybody came to Egypt to get wheat for 7 years. The whole world depends on Ohio, Iowa, and Nebraska for the wheat. The whole world. America say, we will give you bread. You can't even, you couldn't even run your jail. Your jail's supposed to at least have bread and water. We don't send you no wheat. You just feeding your prisoners with water. How long they going to last on water diet?
Not long.
Too much water do what to you? Called water detoxification. What it do is washes out all your potassium, all of your nutrients, and then you in worse shape drinking more water than less water. You can't flush out your nutrients because if you flush out the potassium keep your muscles intact so they don't cramp. If you get rid of the potassium, your heart is a what? A muscle. If your muscle cramp up, what that's called? Heart attack. You can only drink so much water. Y'all understand? Y'all, it ain't hard, y'all. It's just the commandments of men trying to make it hard. Most High say my laws are not grievous. So as you get some understanding on that, you got another question. Okay.
A lot of oranges and lemons don't have seeds in them. And I just collaborated that since man tampers with everything that even the ground is supposed to rest on Sabbath, that aren't they cloning them the reason why they don't have seeds? Because the nutrients inside the fruit, the seeds are more nutritional than the fruit itself.
What we need is to show how they reproduce a seedless vegetable or fruit. And that's so far in out here. And if we go about cloning, there's something called spiritual cloning. Jacob did spiritual cloning with Laban's flocks, with those striped rods and putting them in a certain water. Those cloned certain ones, but there was instruction on how to do that. Look, Sarah put Hagar on her lap as to be a surrogate mother for the child of Abraham, Ishmael. Is that baby technically Sarah's baby? If you put it on the lap, that's what the law says.
It is, but literally,
if she's barren, that means she has no eggs that work. So she has to get the eggs of another woman, but we didn't have the needles where you could pull the egg and plant them in another woman. They had to sit on her lap while she's in labor. It's called sitting upon her knees. So while she's screaming and hollering, it's like the woman who's supposed to have the baby that's barren is having the child too.
Right. So it's coming between both of her legs because she's sitting on her lap. So the act, in the act, it seems as though she's giving birth to the baby.
Beyonce and Kim Kardashian just put their last babies in a surrogate mother. Is those their children? Huh? It's in another womb? See, since that's the only reason we're explaining these things. The only thing that changed in the Bible is technology. That's the only thing. The laws are the same. A will is still a will. Murder is no different than when Cain committed murder. If somebody commit murder today and it's on this side of the flood, are they a fugitive and a vagabond? As soon as they kill somebody, do they go on the run hiding? What did Cain do? Murder ain't changed.
Yeah, he was on the run.
Neither do if we stay with the law. It tells us what not to mix together. Now, I don't know what a tangerine is. What is that?
Small.
That would be a hybrid. If it's unless it's a pygmy orange, if it's still an orange, then it's still an orange. It's just a premature orange. Like you can have a baby at 6 months, that baby premature. What do we do about the law that a baby must be born in 9 months? Do we leave the baby to go? Look, that's the same thing Job was talking about in Job chapter 2. He wasn't saying he hated his birthday. He's how old now? He's almost 70, 80, 100 years old at this point when he make that statement in Job 2. He said, why didn't I die a premature baby? Why didn't I die before my skin color changed? Every child is born with what we would consider white flesh. You only tell how dark the child gonna be by the tip of the ears. Don't we say that?
Yeah.
Oh, he look white now, but he gonna be, look at the tip of his ears. Then his flesh come into play. Job asked, let me die when I was like that than to see the light of day and I'm dying like this. He never mentioned his birthday years before, did he?
No.
He just started mentioning this to Satan, put the hit on him. His birthday didn't have no issue before then. So he wasn't bringing it from that perspective about he hated birthday. He just said, what I'm facing now, I'd rather have died. My choice would have been to die a premature baby before it comes out of the womb after 9 months.
To see the affliction that he had.
To see the affliction that he had. That's all. When you read Job's 2nd chapter, you'll see that clear. Yo, it has nothing to do with a birthday. You can't count your years if you don't have a birthday. The deal is, it said a birthday is not to be celebrated the way the world celebrated, with candles and hats on that's shaped like a warlock hat, the pointed hat with stars and moons and different things on it, and you make a wish and blow out the candle. What is the wish? I hope you die so I can get that inheritance money. Tell grandma what you wish for. No, grandma, you don't want to know about that. Because I just wish you would die so I can get the house and the car. You think grandma want to hear about that wish on his birthday?
Hell no, she gonna put you out the house.
Out the house, then.
With that cake.
Boy, look here.
And take this with you.
We cool out there, y'all, because we need to get moving. How we looking? Go ahead, Elisha. You and did you? Let's get So we back at it must be sanctified by the word. We just only want to put, and let us understand what we're talking about. Meats, abstain from meats. Some people can't eat meat. The digestive system can't have. Some people have trouble with clean meats. Some people can't eat too much lamb. It'll cause a problem for them. The scripts say when you command somebody to stay away from meat, it's not saying if that's bad for you. If somebody's saying, man, every time I eat lamb, my foot swell up. How much lamb before it starts swelling up? Well, usually I eat, you know what, man, if I only eat one chop, it don't swell up. You back to one chop. That's all you can eat of lamb, even though it's legal. If you eat more, then they're going to create a problem for you. Then you're going to say lamb is bad meat. For who? Who is it bad for? Your big toe, not mine.
He said, your big toe.
You talking about your lack of
Huh?
All things are lawful, but not all.
All things. Look, if 2 beers make you pull your clothes off in the middle of King's Highway, drink 1 beer. If 1 beer you start unbuttoning, you can't drink even though it's legal. Do that make sense, y'all? You can't drink.
You start getting bucket naked, you need not drink.
Look here, you can already see what my line at. I can't do it at all. I can't drink at all.
Some of that
Let's get it, y'all, because we're a little bit behind. So we cleared up that 110:4, y'all, and we're talking about commandments to abstain from eat. Emo make sure we have a balanced diet, y'all, because you know why? Because we'll get into a battle with the herbalists, and we'll be battling them about eating herbs versus eating meat, and that's not what the script says. The script say a balanced diet.
That's right.
If we know a meat is more bad for us, whether it's clean or not, only thing you can say is don't eat too much of it. Can we eat fast food long as it's beef at a restaurant and turkey? Can we eat it? Well, we're gonna get on turkey in a minute. Just say beef.
Yeah.
Steaks. Can we eat that at fast food every day? Is they changing the grill? I'm talking about when they put pork on that grill, when you come in there, do they start ringing bells and say Hebrews in the house and roll out the special grill that's pork free, or do they throw your meat on there with that pork meat that was just on there? They do it there, and the problem is you stand there and pay for it, and you still say I'm pork free. Yes, you're technically pork free, but you got some traces. You're only pork free if you don't eat at fast food restaurants. And you manufacture it, you cut it up, you know what's in the ingredients. Other than that, when we go to the grocery store and read what's on her, no byproducts, no hog meat, no chitlin products, and you read that, you still have to trust that manufacturer, don't you?
Yep.
Exactly, because they only legally required to put the first 25 ingredients. They don't have to put everything.
Right.
But Mark 16:15 tells us if they try to poison you, backdoor you, and that's why Paul say whatever they sell at the shambles or the marketplace, Sula market, don't be. If it say beef, it's not on you, it's on them. He say, I got you if they're trying to trick you. I got you. I'm not gonna put y'all in a land where y'all can't control the market. Do you know the FDA? You can't cut. You think he can just start? He know how to gut a lamb. You think he can just be doing that in the neighborhood and the people don't come? He's got to have the right temperature out there.
Everything.
He's got to have everything measured just right. He just can't start cutting lambs in his backyard and ain't got no license.
No, they had outlawed that years ago too, because a lot of Bosnians live here, and a lot of people, immigrants who came here with their same practices from their country, and they were slaughtering their own animals in their yards and everything. Had smokehouses. A lot of it was on the south side.
Yeah.
And they shut all that down, especially after 9/11.
Yeah.
They shut it all down. Because matter of fact, we used to before 9/11, we used to order whole lamb,
Right,
head and feet and all,
right,
for our Passover. And after 9/11, they stopped that. You can only buy lambs in portion. Well, and you could go to certain meat markets that are owned by Arabs that do all that, and you can still get whole lambs, head and feet and all. But most places now, they won't sell it like that. You can only buy portions.
right.
So.
And look, our people, if you put the whole lamb on, the first thing they do is turn you sour. That look like a dog. Well, what you gonna think that do for everybody else that now lay eyes on it? And you be like, look, that kind of is looking like a greyhound. Now my whole mind messed up.
Hey, remember them little twins said that at our Passover? They're like, oh, they roasting dogs. But boy, we had to put them out the line because they kept coming back for more. Like, hey,
Look, yeah, and the only reason
like that dog, huh?
right, and the only reason it ain't a dog because it got split hoof.
Yeah.
See, it's always two parts: chew at the cud and split hoof. There's always gonna be two witnesses to let you know. Fish, scales and fins. Catfish only have fins, no scales. Can't eat catfish. Can't go with just the fins.
Got skin.
You got to have scales too. I don't care how you change octopus to a fancy name called calamari. It's octopus. It's just like shark or anything else. You can't eat it because it's called calamari.
And boy, I don't know what has gotten into Israel thinking that they eating fine dining off crabs and lobsters.
What?
Oh man, you ought to hear how Israel be bragging of, we having lobster and crab. Like they eating top of the line.
Look, it's just
filet mignon and
look, it's just like
you eat roaches of the sea.
Look, we used to hide chitlins from other family members. For what?
Yeah.
All they gotta do is slip around.
Look, no, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You're hiding trash from an individual so they can't get to it because it's not enough trash for everybody.
You hiding trash because you the only one who wants the trash.
Huh? They told me, she know how to really clean her chitlins. How do you clean intestines good enough to eat?
Ain't no trace.
I mean, just right now.
I'll smell like ass.
Right now, I'm saying you take a piece of your sewer pipe, they cut it out of the ground, you bust it open, and you know what I'm saying, you put, I'm just saying you put lime away in it. I'm talking about you clean it out with all the bleach and everything. Will you put a hamburger in there and use it as a plate once you clean it? And you know what they've been through, will you? No, they sanitized this. Okay, y'all, we got to move on though, y'all. So, y'all, we want to hit on these subject matter because that's what's out there now in the abstaining from meat. They're saying no chicken, no turkey. And for time's sake, y'all, we're going to go through the law. But what we want to tell you is the trickery in the videos. Every video that's out there, they show you a farmer who feeds, literally feeds the chicken rat. So what they're saying is, according to the law, they should never eat anything of this. You will eat a squirrel's rear end if you get hungry. If you don't feed your chickens what you're supposed to feed them, they're going to survive, just like you survive. See, the videos never show. Let's go to Tyson Foods and just watch their chicken set up and see if mice is being eaten. What happened is this farmland is overrun by mice because the feed is all over the ground. They're feeding that. So the chickens first, they'll run away and then they'll come back and protect their space. If you ain't fed them in 3-4 days, they're going to eat whatever's available.
For survival.
Look, when they locked the kingdom down on us,
We ate our own.
and they did, I'm telling you what they did. They roasted goats outside and the smoke went over the top. And we were smelling it, but then our eyes got just like the cartoons. We started having mirage. You looked at your partner's child and it turned into a steak. And they start drawing short straws. Who children we gonna eat? Like them babies back there in the back row. Vision, we like Vision. I know you hate it, but today's the day, man. We got to eat that shorty. This is, now look, if you go with 1 Tim 4 like the Christians try to do and say that means we can eat everything, it said every creature is God. We are a creature of God, meaning a creation. Then that baby is legal too. So you would ask them, so I can eat a human being? No, you being crazy. Just about as crazy as you are thinking you can eat food that's not on the dietary list. When you open that door, you open it up for me to be a cannibal. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all, let's keep it moving, y'all, because we run out of time a little bit. We're going to get you right to the law thing. Leviticus 11, then we're going to hit Deuteronomy 14. Now, I'll tell you what, Romans 14 first. And then we'll get into the law. Because we're going to see this going to clear up when we're talking about meats and vegetables, y'all. Well-balanced diet. That's what Noah was given after they got off the ark. A well-balanced diet. Emo make sure we have a well-balanced diet. She can see we ain't eating enough lettuce. We're not eating enough greenery. And I'm guilty of it. Only time you eat a salad is when you go out to a restaurant because you think you're supposed to eat it. It makes you a big shot out there. Yes, and I'll have the club salad. You don't know the club salad got pork on it. You don't even know your salads.
You don't even know your salads.
See, because you think it go with the meal. That's the only time you eat greenery, when you go out. Will there be salad or soup? I don't want no soup. I'll take the salad. If Emar makes sure that we're able, that our intestines, along with that greenery, gets that meat out of our system so we don't have to worry about colon problems. Because it's going to be purged in the drought.
To make sure we have greens and beans.
And that moves the meat. Now, if you got more meat in you and it's not balanced, you're going to have, or possibly could have, a blockage. You got to have, your meat have to be free of eating meat. So the meat we eat green. Its whole makeup is off of eating green. Not eating other meat, but eating green. So it cheweth the cud and have a split hook. Not only do it eat the green, it throw it up and chew it up again to make sure it's fully digested. So when we eat that, we're in good shape. It's the difference. You'll pick up a cow patty and fly like a frisbee. Pick up a dog chunk and see who will play with you with that.
It's gonna be all between the feathers.
See, you can use that for fuel because we used that for fuel at one time, but you can't use no dog doodle for fuel. You don't know what the smoke, and you talking about smoking it. Yo, let's get caught up, y'all. Romans 14 chapter, y'all.
it back in your
Romans
plate.
14.
Is that jerk chicken?
Regurgitate it back in the soil to grow plants.
Boy, y'all see that? Pig ain't never been compost, ever.
Ever.
Let's get into this, y'all.
Romans chapter 14, verse 1.
Yes, sir. Hold on, how we looking, y'all? Everybody there? Okay, let's get it, y'all.
Him that is weak in faith receiveth ye, but not to doubtful disputation.
So when they're weak in faith, meaning they're not understanding these scriptures like they should, receive them still. Hey, bro, we gonna straighten you up there, but not to doubtful accusation. You can't receive him if everything about the scripts he doubts, because he's not one understanding. He just want to be a rebel rouser or doubting the scripture. Don't understand what the scriptures is saying. Ain't in your scripture right there, it say, I create evil. Right there say that. Well, if you don't take him back to verse 1 of Isaiah 48th chapter, then you'll be understanding you won't understand what he's saying. Because he's got you not knowing the rules of your own Bible, and he's introducing your law to you. And got you behind the 8 ball with your own book. That's the problem, ain't it, Life?
Yes, sir.
Big problem.
You can't never be caught short, instant in season and out of season, apt to teach. Somebody bring you that, clear it right up. Let's read some more.
And also, before you move on, just make a note. That first sentence says, him that is weak in the faith.
Yeah.
So that's what the subject matter. It's about one that is weak in the faith as opposed to one that is strong in the faith.
That's right.
And then it goes on to explain the two. Read on, bro.
Verse 2, for one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak eateth herbs.
See, and then we don't want to play the weakling, you just eat herb game with nobody either.
No.
Because this is what it's saying. Now it said who eat herbs is what?
Weak.
Weak in the faith. Because somewhere you're thinking I can't eat meat. But the Bible never says that. That's a commandment and tradition of men that commands you not to eat it. And it may be to satisfy your weakness. Well, it still ain't going to make you strong telling me that, is it?
No.
Because you're going to be weaker because you're telling me to break the law. It's like people say you can't get drunk. The script don't say you can't drink. It say you can't be drunk. It says there's a limit for everybody. Some people don't get started till they've consumed 12 birds. That's when they get a buzz. High tolerance before they get a... But that's not for me and him. 12 birds for us. There's pea stains everywhere. Unconsciousness. And it's probably on somebody's couch.
No.
Then you wake up hours later and have to be told what your experience was.
No.
You can't remember. You don't remember. They have to tell you. Man, you went out there and then you pissed in Big Mama plans. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Y'all lying on me. Can you say we wrong? No.
We can show you the evidence.
Boy, look here. Let's read some more. Go ahead, Zed.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
Let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not. And let not him that eateth not judge him that eateth. For Yahweh has received him.
And we're talking about judge. See, the key words in there, y'all, is judge. What are judgments made by? Law. This is what I was telling you. Everything has to be, the judgment, all of that has to be according to law. Do I have to eat meat? No, I don't have to eat meat long as it's legal. But can I tell you not to? No. I'm just choosing to erase it from my diet. Let's read some more.
Who art thou that judgest another man's servant?
See, and once again, we talk about judging another man's servant. We Christ's servants. How you going to tell me what I can put in my temple according to the law of the Most High? Go ahead.
To his own master he standeth or faileth. Yea, he shall be holden up, for Yahweh is able to make him stand. One man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike.
Right.
Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind.
Where he had to be fully persuaded.
In his own mind.
You can't let nobody, you can't blame the devil. You can't even blame the devil. The devil don't make you do anything. Devil asks you point blank, how well do you have this last verse in your mind? Are you fully persuaded in your mind? That's what the devil asks you. Don't the scriptures say you should do this? You say, yeah, the scripture does say that, but I should never tempt the Lord. I'm not going to jump off a cliff and see if the angel's going to bear me up. To prove it to who? You? That means I'm a daredevil now. You're letting the devil dare you into seeing if God will answer. That ain't the way the Most High do it. He said, you're not going to control my spirit like that. I'm not going to just send an angel because you out here gambling and shooting dice with a naysayer and got him telling you about your law. But the devil is called the adversary and the accuser. The only thing he can accuse you of is law breaking. Let's read some more.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
He that regardeth the day, regardeth it unto the Most High.
Right.
And he that regardeth not the day, to the Most High, he does not regard it.
So the Most High don't care how you think about a day. He said all creation is mine. The earth is and the fullness thereof. If you look at it like that, look, when y'all get through talking about it, we're going to talk about what the day was created for by me, the supreme being. When y'all get through talking, let's get down to what happened on that day. How we even talking about the sun and the moon and ain't started talking about the lights that lighten the world for the first 3 days? The sun and the moon weren't created till the fourth day. What are the lights we're talking about over here?
That great.
Why we keep starting in the middle? See, and that'll lead you to sun worship or moon worship. Yep. Either you'll be a Muslim or Egyptologist if you start in day 4. We're talking about day 1.
Because he said in the beginning it was a day and a night. And the moon and the sun and the moon weren't created.
What's that day and night? We got to get some understanding, y'all, because it's going to go back to that first, because the sun and the moon going to be knocked out, right? And we only going to see the light of Christ coming.
Which is 10 times greater than the light of the sun.
Let's read some more.
He that eateth to the Most High, for he giveth Yahweh thanks. And he that eateth not to the Most High, he eateth not, and giveth Yahweh thanks. For none of us liveth to himself, and no man died to himself.
So this is where you kind of get into the conversation of, my grandmama been eating pork and she 90 years old. She won't be another 90 years old. You can believe that. But that's not because she's still alive. It say he give lawbreakers time to repent. And how the repentance come is every time you eat another piece of it and champion of it, your head will swim on you. You may be smiling, but you got the wobbly legs. You like you just got off a merry-go-round. And you tell people, it just makes my head swim. And then when you go to the doctor, what he tell you?
Get off the pork.
Get off the pork. If you can't get off of it, I'm going to give you this prescription that'll let you keep eating it. It ain't going to fix you. It's just going to take that queasy feeling out of your mouth. Take the queasy feeling out of your mouth by taking the pork out of it. Ah, boy, look here. I give up all of that, but I can't give up my pork. Why? Why not your bacon?
And it's always the bacon.
No lessons for me.
Why is it always? It's always the bacon.
Oh, no, you know I don't, boy. Go ahead. Boy, you joking back there.
It's how they break their fast. So that bacon is the first thing to break the fast, so they can't get rid of that. That's an addiction.
Exactly.
Right, and look, and because no fast food restaurants will sell turkey on the high level, you know why? They say we can't sell it. It ain't enough people under the law that comes in here to buy turkey, so we don't buy it. Why we gonna have a freezer full of what y'all ain't gonna buy? If 200 people come in here, 150 of them eat pork. So we're gonna make sure we have enough for those 150. Now, the few of y'all, the 50 that's left that don't eat no pork, y'all got to get here before Tuesday, or a little bit we order for that gonna be gone. So now you got to go to McDonald's, just give me the biscuit and egg. Right? What else you gonna order? A McMuffin. You got to take the meat off, don't you? If you go in there.
Well, gonna cook that turkey bacon on the same
Even if they do that, y'all. So this is what we're talking about, y'all. Understand what the law is saying, y'all. What you order on the clean list, the Most High say, I got y'all impurities for y'all. Don't worry about it. I got the impurity, but you must play by the rules. Play by the rules. Let's read some more.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
For whether we live unto the Most High. And whether we die unto the Most High.
Right.
Whether we live therefore or die, we are the Most High. For to this end Christ both died and rose and received that he and revived that he might be Lord both over the dead and living. But why dost thou judge thy brother?
See, and y'all, the key word is quit chasing the meat and take the subject matter word, judge. What does judge mean? Matthew 7, judge not ye, lest you want the same judgment, right? So what the judgment means is based off of what you may think bad behavior. If you don't want nobody doing that bad behavior, you can't do it to them, right? But there's still got to be a set of laws that you make the judgment by, don't it? Judgment is the key, y'all. And judgment puts us back in Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14, because we ain't got no other laws about meats. Let's read some more.
Verse 10 again. But why dost thou judge thy brother? Or why dost thou set at naught thy brother? For we shall all stand before the judgment seat of your house.
See, everybody, now look, the way you judge, and look, there's a chief judge. There's a supreme judge. And he gonna settle the matter about how we judging each other.
With that same energy too.
Boy, look here. Go ahead, bro.
For it is written, as I live, says the Most High, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to Yahweh. So then, every one of us shall give account of himself to Yahweh.
Look at that. That kills reincarnation. If you've been here 20 times, which one of y'all gonna stand right here for this, Elisha?
The 19th one.
Look, now look here, Lord. That wasn't me. See, I wasn't in the 1800s. Yeah, that was me. It's technically me, but it wasn't me and the one that came in the 1800s. I came in the 1900s. Well, you still the same person, ain't you? Or is it gonna be 10 of you there?
Well, all 10 of you getting judged.
Judge, boy, look here. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 13. Let us not therefore judge one another anymore, but judge this rather, that no man put a stumbling block or an occasion to fall in his brother's way.
See, when you put a stumbling block, when you show only videos that you can find of chicken eating mice, and you don't show Tyson how they do theirs consistently, and I'm talking about these top ones where the feds come in there and check for nasty, and when they give you them letters that they put on your restaurant too, A, B, C, or D,
Or F.
would you go in a restaurant, you saw a big old D there? I'm talking about they handing you your food with their bare hands. And he just left his mechanic job. Fingernails dirty, just, well, the Lord says you talk about washing the cups, here, eat this biscuit. And a whole nother level ain't like
It's got black fingerprints.
boy,
on
look
it.
here. Go ahead. Seasoning. What verse you in there?
Verse 14.
Yeah.
I know and am persuaded by the Most High Yahweh, by the Lord Yahweh, that there is nothing unclean of itself, but to him that esteemeth anything to be unclean, to him it is unclean.
So, and we're talking about nothing of itself is unclean. Everything was created. When he created the catfish, did he say, and the day was good, or did he say the day was bad? How you gonna eat tilapia if the catfish don't clean the bottom of the ocean, clean all the doo-doo up? I mean, all of the algae and everything like that. The water's gonna be tainted, ain't it?
Yeah.
So it's a good thing you got a filtering system.
Yeah, because the clean fish would be bad then.
The pork ate your trash. That's why on the Flintstone, what they have up under the sink?
The pig?
The pig. They didn't have a deer under there, did they?
No.
He's a trash compactor. He'll eat human flesh. You can't poison a pig. The only way you kill him is to cut his throat and let him bleed out.
Gotta slaughter.
You can put Drano in there, boy, he'd say, where's the dessert?
Because they don't sweat.
Full of toxins, ain't it?
Full of toxins.
What else to say, bro?
Verse 15.
Yeah.
But if thy brother be grieved with thy meat, now walkest thou not charitably. Destroy not him with thy meat, for whom Christ died.
So we can't put salvation on a diet unless it's a diet of Messiah. He said, I'm that living bread, didn't he?
That's right.
I'm that living water. This, I don't care who they say purified it, you're going to thirst again. If you put me first and realize when you ain't going to be able to get to this, you're going to have to drink of me. When they take that food away and starve you to death, you're going to have to eat of me. You're going to have to take my flesh, not being accountable, but you got to think the words of me. Most High said Messiah did 960 hours of fasting. That's 40 days. We get one day, the Day of Atonement, and we can't stop looking at our watch. Almost. Almost. No food and drink for 24 hours. 960 hours was the standard. Moses did it twice. Elijah did it. The Messiah did it. Why are we like this with just 24 hours? Man. Wait. Pizza Hut on speed dial. There it is. 3, 2, 1. Dang. Yeah, give me the Big Mama with everything on it. Pickles and onions. Yeah, I want all of it. I want all of it. Throw a 6-pack in with it.
Just throw a 6-pack in with it.
Look at the boy. Go ahead, Zaya.
Everybody laughing because they done all done.
Go ahead, Zaya.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
Let not then your good be evil spoken of, for the kingdom of Yahweh is not meat and drink.
What is the kingdom of Yahweh?
Is not meat and drink, but righteousness and peace and joy in the Holy Ghost.
See, that's the kingdom of the Most High. That's the feasting. That's the drinking. Because I want you to understand, if you're going to be like the angels or you transform, what is physical food going to do for you anyway in the kingdom? You eat. Because we know manna bread is what type of bread? Angels food. So you know you can eat physical food in that supernatural form. It's just the fact that it's got to be food that's of righteousness.
Lawful.
Y'all can hold that. We're going to read the rest. Y'all read the rest of that in your own time, y'all. For time's sake, Leviticus 11, y'all, Deuteronomy 14, y'all. We just going to get to what we call fowls, and then we're going to get into the law of what's called a bird, because they're still bird. What do we call chicken around here when we talking cool? What kind of bird?
Yard bird.
Yard bird. Y'all know what we mean when we say that, don't you?
Yeah.
Does that include a raven when you talk about yard bird? He'll come in your yard and eat a dead squirrel.
We ain't talking about
How about a vulture come down and eat a dead rabbit? Is you talking about that yard bird?
better not find one of them in your yard.
So we're talking about fowl, F-O-W-L, that's legal and illegal. And the Bible don't tell us which ones are legal. It tells us the ones which are illegal. If it ain't on the illegal list, why you arguing about another fowl or bird? What you arguing about? Is it on the do not eat list? Does it eat meat? You go give me a video of somebody that starved some chickens and show it eating a mouse. See, there is eating a mouse. You'll eat a mouse. Are we supposed to eat mouse? Well, look, it say Isaiah 66, pork and the mouse are in the same family. So if you say it's okay to eat pork, then why you throwing all that good meat you catching behind the refrigerator and the stove? That's good meat, ain't it, Elisha?
No.
Okay,
Not by,
good.
not by Christ standards.
So this is what we're talking about, y'all, when we talk about after its kind. And we're going to get into the vulture turkey, and we're going to get into the gobbler turkey. There are two different types of turkey, and the reason is technically only one type of turkey. One is a vulture. One is a domestic turkey, a gobbler. When you see turkey vulture, the only reason it's called a turkey vulture is because it has that gobbler on, but it's a vulture. It's like monkey man. What is a monkey man?
I ain't never seen one.
Well, that's what we call it. Look, that's what he was called, but is that the truth? Will he walk in here with hairy arms and knuckles and, and his torso is longer than his legs by that much? I'm talking about for him to be a monkey, a true monkey man, he would have to have long arms like 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz could tie his shoes standing up. I'm talking about long arms like a monkey.
Damn.
Where we at?
Stretch your own strong
Yeah. But y'all, so this is what we're talking about, y'all. Leviticus 11, Deuteronomy 14 gonna settle the matter on the diet because it's the only thing we can refer back to. Where we at, Life? What's that? Hey, hold on. Let me get there with y'all. And we're gonna pick it up in the files. Well, we'll just go ahead. Boy, look here.
You say Mohari car, huh?
Well, see, and when we're talking about, look, when they say monkey man, well, y'all know he couldn't get a blood transfusion. That's just a title thrown on him.
Yeah.
Because you know why they say a monkey man? If a man is hairy, overly hairy, you say, boy, your daddy must be half an ape, ain't you? But is he half an ape and he's speaking English? Is he half an ape and he can work out math problems and, and not only that, he go to a job and clock in. Is he truly a monkey man?
There are some monkeys that can do that.
They ain't going on no job though, like shit. But I mean, what I'm talking about at a job, they have to be trained, but it's still not a man. I know you mess with it. You could train a dog or a bear to ride a bike, but is that a bear man, or is that just a bear doing man stuff?
It's a bicyclist.
That's a bear man. He's bear.
I saw the goat. They had another goat born over in India with a man's face on it. They hurry up and killed it real quick. But y'all, what we're trying to understand is though when you say something like turkey, vulture, the key word is it's a vulture. Right. That means it's a bird of prey. Turkey gobbler don't eat birds. It's not a bird of prey. No. There are 2 different kinds. The only reason you're saying turkey vulture is because it has that turkey gobbler. But it eats meat. It eats flesh of dead animal. It's a vulture. It's a bird of prey. And it says the vulture shall be there where dead meat at, right? Vultures circle around dead meat. This particular one just looked like a turkey. And the same thing I'm saying, if a monkey man walked in here, a true monkey man, fixed him a plate and say, where we going to now, brother? I got another question about evolution. I'm the missing link sitting in here with y'all today. That would be the monkey man. That's what evolution says there is. The missing link is a monkey man. Right. That would mean that monkey has our same blood type. We shouldn't be low on blood. All we gotta do is go to the zoo.
Yeah. Go to the zoo.
And get some blood. You should be able to use their kidney transplants and everything. Y'all, so a turkey vulture is just a vulture with turkey in front of it so you identify him from another turkey. Dogs after its kind. Does a Rottweiler look like a Chihuahua? Or are they still dogs?
Yep.
Y'all, this is real simple, y'all. We make it hard.
Yep.
But if y'all look it up right now, if y'all look up turkey vulture and then look up turkey gobbler, we asking y'all to do that with y'all smartphone. Don't be a dummy today on this. Look it up with your smartphones, turkey vulture, and read his entire description, and then look up turkey gobbler. And you'll know which one we can eat. Because it's called that. Then I can be a monkey man.
They only call it that for identification purposes because of the look, the characteristics, and that's it.
What happens if you take a certain kind of bath, Liza? What them baths called? When you wash up real quick under your arm. Or a monkey bath. You just wipe under your arm and hit the door.
Hookah bath.
Look, you ain't did nothing but took a bird bath. That means you just went in the bathroom, everybody getting ready, and you just got some water like this, and you did like this. That's a bird bath.
No, that's
And here you go coming out, and you say, wait a minute.
That's a BS.
Right, look. You have to wash up under here. If your leather coat got that same yellow stain like it be on t-shirts, that's a problem.
They say your leather coat.
Yeah.
Your leather coat got yellow stains in it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a major problem, brother. And it ain't yellow.
Yo, but that's the only thing, y'all, so we can move on. We run out of time a little bit. I just want to get through these scripts, y'all. But when they say turkey vulture, it's no difference than saying monkey man. You know there's a difference in a monkey man versus the seed of Adam. Right. Don't you? Yeah. It's called a Neanderthal. Let's read some more, y'all.
That's what OG meant.
Yeah. See, and you got to be careful because most people that do Genesis 1:26 say that was a monkey man. Given charge of the world and planet Earth? No. And you don't know what fire is? How you going to sacrifice and you don't know what fire is? That means you're going to be throwing raw meat up there, ain't it?
Running.
You scratching in your rear end and smell it and then taste it? That's what a monkey man do. That's what you're saying if you say Genesis 1:26 was a monkey man. And God put him in charge of planet Earth.
And put him in the garden and told him to dress it.
If you say he's walking on dragon knuckles and he's ruling planet Earth, that's a problem, ain't it?
Major problem.
He don't know what fire is. How do you pluck from back there and roll it around and eat it? And there's no health issues concerning this?
There's a dung beetle.
What you got, bro?
Sean Wise in the chat asked, can we eat duck?
Huh?
Can we eat duck?
Duck
Nope.
is on the line of after its kind of a water bird. All we ask is show anywhere in any scripture, law, statutes, or judgment. Now look, on certain things because you can find a duck, domestic, or however they saying. But what you never find is us eating water birds. So if you find a water bird being eaten that compares to a duck, then it is what it is. But like we always say, when in doubt, do what, Elijah? Do without. If you don't know, or you ain't done your study on the Anidae family that the ducks come from, and geese, they come from that geese and the swan family. If you ain't done your work on that, then do without. If you're in doubt, do without. Like Peter on the rooftop, while he doubted the vision, he wasn't going to kill and eat. He doubted within himself. Not the law of God, he doubted within himself. I won't eat nothing there. No, Lord, nothing unclean been in my mouth. Nothing unclean been in my mouth. So in like manner, if duck, you can't explain duck, can we eat it? Fully persuaded in your own mind that we can show eating water birds? Anywhere eating water birds. Do you know we have what's called, it's the sea moss or whatever it is. What's it called?
Is it bladder rat?
No, I'm talking about what? No, I'm talking about what is that to grow under the water? Like seaweed.
But that was the other. It was.
So it said herbs of the field. Can you then eat herbs of the sea? This is where it's coming down to. Because if you say yeah, then you because it has the same name called what the herbs of the field have, you say it's legal, but it tells you where you can only eat them from.
Right.
From the earth. You can't eat them from the sea.
Not the sea, because the sea moss, it's not, it doesn't,
it's algae eater.
It's algae eater, so it's a filter of the sea. As well as it doesn't reproduce itself, it has, instead of leaves and petals and things of this nature, it has spores that capture
like mushrooms.
All the things that comes through the sea. It captures all that stuff and it holds and it filters it out. Even though they say in the herb world that it's a good thing for your body, it's not on the list of the Most High's list of clean things to consume.
That's right. So y'all, we have to stay according to it, and we don't want to judge. We just, as an individual, can you see that? Just like lilies. there's two types of lilies. There's one that's spinning tall that it say Solomon clothes was like this, and then you got the lilies of the field that Lotus or Buddhists try to say it's water lilies. That they try to say it's the lily of the field. It's not a lily of a field. It don't grow in a field. It grows underwater, and it dies every day. That's a different lily than the lily of the field. The Most High tells you where you can get it from. It grows wild in the field. When has the water ever been called the field? Yo, this ain't hard. We make it hard for ourselves because we want to control somebody else's diet. You're in charge of your diet. If it say 8 glasses of water a day is good for you, it ain't going to be good for me. That may be for a man that weighs 175 pounds, 6'1". I'm 6'2", 150. That ain't gonna work for me. Hold on. Now, see, I was just saying was y'all listening. I was just saying was y'all listening.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, wait.
6'2", I'm 7.
I was just saying was y'all listening. Let's get caught up, y'all. Where you at, Zed?
Sister, you had a question?
Yeah, is tuna lawful to eat?
Tuna, as long as it's on the fish with scale. Mackerel is legal.
Yes.
Sardines is legal.
They have scales
And fins.
Lion scale.
If you got catfish tuna, no. Let's read some more, y'all. Leviticus 11.
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And the Most High spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven-footed,
Right.
and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat.
So he's identifying by us by the makeup of the animal so that you don't get caught up in somebody trying to change words on you with a word after mouth. Shalom, Mish. Like they may say just, well, the Hebrew word for that mean. The bottom line is a hare and a rabbit is the same thing, ain't it? They got paws. They don't have split up. I don't care what you say about what the Hebrew and the Greek say. If it got paws, it's off limits. Let's read some more.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or them that divided the hoof.
Right.
As the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean unto you.
So he don't have the twofold. He can't chew the cud. He may have split hoof, but he don't chew the cud. Or he may chew the cud and don't have split hoof. He has a paw. So you can't eat that. It must be the two characteristics to say it's legal. Let's read some more.
And the coney.
And the who?
And the coney. Coney. Because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof.
Now that's another kind of rabbit. A coney is the rabbit with the longer legs and the taller ears or whatever. A coney, go ahead. But he out of the rabbit family. Go ahead.
He is unclean unto you.
Right.
And the hare.
And the what?
And the hare. Because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof. He is unclean unto you.
He is what?
Unclean unto you.
See, he eat grass and stuff, but he got paws that make rabbit off limit. I don't care because they say rabbit tastes like what, license?
Chicken.
It ain't chicken.
No, it's not.
So just get you a chicken if you
If you want chicken, right. Why you gonna go get what tastes like chicken?
Imitation.
Where we at?
Verse 7.
Yeah.
And the swine.
And the what?
The swine. Though he divided the hoof.
Now see, he divided the hoof. Go ahead.
And be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean unto you.
He is unclean unto you because he don't chew the cud. He chew the trash.
He chew whatever.
He chew whatever. He'll chew poison. He'll chew broken glass. He'll eat you.
He'll eat you. You lay there long enough.
Read some more.
Verse 8.
Of
their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
What is a carcass?
Dead body.
See, a carcass had nothing to do with dried out skin of something.
It's the actual.
It's not a carcass.
Flies and maggots.
Yo, we can't say the whole thing. Then what the Most High said, where's the good in it when he created a pig then? It's like badger skin. Badgers are from the weasel family. What is badger skin doing covering the Ark of the Covenant?
Or our feet.
Or our feet. In Ezekiel 16 say the Most High dressed us out when he married the nation of Israel. He said gave us fine garments and dressed us in badger skin sandals. Well, let's see what about badger skin sandals are. They're waterproof. They were the Timberland sandals back of that day. That's all they were for, waterproof. You trekking, you can't have on no cheap Payless sandals back in the day. And the Ark of the Covenant would electrocute you. That's what that skin was over, so it wouldn't electrocute the priests. The badger skin protected the electricity from firing out of the Ark of the Covenant. But when Uzziah touched it, when it got ready to fall on the ground, it electrocuted him. David was mad about it. The Lord said, who I told to pick up the ark?
That's right.
He should have let it hit the ground. You know why even he should have let it hit the ground? Because them rogue priests gave it to him, Eli and Hophni, and they put it on the back of an oxen cart. The rules say lift it up.
Lift it up and carry
Israelites,
it, carry it
Levites. Levites only carry it on their shoulder. They threw it on the oxen cart. What's in front of, what did the oxen let out while he walking?
Who do it?
What's behind him now? And he can't, and the Most High say, I won't walk in the midst of you. Y'all have to go doo-doo over here. You have to dig a hole when we out in the camp and do your business and cover the hole up. He said, I'll walk in the midst of you. How are you going to have the Ark of the Covenant on the oxen cart and it's dropping doo-doo as it's walking along?
And you walking right behind it, stepping in it.
The whole thing was illegal. David mad about the wrong thing.
Yeah, it's all defiled, man.
Let's read some more, y'all.
Unclean.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
These shall ye eat all that are in the water.
Okay, y'all hold that. We're gonna get down to the y'all stay there. We're gonna get on down to the because we need to get to the foul. What you got over there though, too, by?
Sister in the chat asks, is sushi legal?
Sushi? What's that, raw fish? If it's raw catfish, no. If it's raw tilapia, no. Everything must be cooked. See, if we roast everything, y'all, all the impurities will fall in the fire. Believe it or not, it's how slaves lasted so long because they would cook pork. Even though pork don't sweat, the fire forced it to sweat because we were forced to eat it. Half of the impurities were burned in the fire. That's why we lasted 90 years old. But you know what you didn't see? A fat slave.
A lot of places now,
No slave.
There's not, a lot of places don't serve raw fish anymore as sushi. They steam it.
Yeah. Or bake it.
Smoke it.
As long as it's
a lot
on.
of places that steam and smoke it now instead of raw.
As long as it's on the list, y'all, of clean fish. As long as it's broiled, like it say, broiled fish, fire has to hit it to kill the impurities. Gold is tried in the what?
Fire.
So everything else must be tried in the fire. If we ate like they cooked at the steakhouse minus the pork that they put on that grill, we would never have a red meat issue come up. The reason red meat issues are coming up and people saying don't eat meat is because they cook on a flat grill. So all the impurities cook right back into the meat. So you're eating blood now when you go to a restaurant. But if you go to a restaurant that cooks on an open grill, all that stuff falls in the fire and you got raw, good, clean, meat on fire, barbecue. Y'all have to understand that cooking on a flat grill, yes, George Foreman grill was okay, the grease rolled down there, but most of it still cooked right back in there, y'all. That's where we at. Y'all, we should be barbecuing any type of meat right now. You going, Emo? Yes. Okay. Have a good day. I'll give you a call. Thank you so much, Emo, for taking care of us. All right. Where we at? What you got?
Stop there.
One more. Elder Jeremiah in the chat asks, is pheasant clean or unclean to us?
Is who?
Pheasant.
Pheasant is clean, y'all. That's what we're going to get to. Tell them we coming on that. We're finna do files right now. And when you see pheasant or the types of bird they're talking about, the bottom line is if they don't eat prey, they good to us. I'm not talking about starved pheasant. I'm talking about keep a pheasant away from everything else that where they'll only eat something. Say, see, they'll eat it. Will a human being perform bestiality? Huh? Let no women be around and dolly the sheep there. Because men say the sheep look just like a woman in those positions. Is that legal though? So when we talk about things, we're talking about where you've something been taken away from you, and you say we can do something else. The script don't say that. Look, men make themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven. That don't mean they castrate themselves. That means they cut women off like Christ and Paul did. They were eunuchs for the kingdom. They acted like you still have to be fruitful and multiply though. And that means souls. If you can't have physical gender, you got to bring people in now. Because that's the true spiritual multiplication anyway. You can have a bunch of babies could be demons. My baby, your baby just shot up to Columbine High School. Your baby did that.
Root of wicked.
Let's pick this up, y'all, on the files. Verse 13. And y'all, this is what we got to understand. What is a fowl? Anybody got a dictionary real quick? Give me fowl and bird. Yes, ma'am. What it say? Read that out loud.
It say a bird of the order of galliforms that is kept for its eggs and fresh, a rooster or a hen.
That's a fowl. And not only this, when we get to the law, we're going to see what type of birds they did, because eggs is involved with chickens too. See, once you quit eating chicken, you can't eat eggs no more either.
Right.
See, you got to cut it all off. What comes first, the egg or the chicken? Chicken. Okay, chicken come first.
I don't know what time of morning it is.
Well, he created a chicken. And then the egg came from the chicken. Now, to tell us what birds we can't eat that create, that do have eggs too, but they don't have a nest when we get into the law because they bury their eggs in the sand. And they call a dinosaur. And guess what the modern name for it is? An ostrich. What you got, bro?
Oh, I got another term. It say, is a chicken a fowl? It say, while the terms often get used interchangeably, chicken refers to a specific species of bird.
Of what? A specific species of what?
Bird. Whereas fowl can refer to a large selection of birds, for example, chickens or domesticated birds that are kept for eggs or meat. A fowl can be any kind of bird, several domesticated or wild galationous birds. Look,
we have what's called wild game hunting. When you see people go with them scatterguns, that buckshot, that's wild game, but it has to be legal meat. That's called wild game hunt. Partridges, you shoot partridges out of a tree. You ain't never shot at a chicken, have you? See, a partridge in a what kind of tree?
Pear tree.
See, you would shoot them out of there. They have nests up there. We're finna hit the scripture concerning this, y'all, so we don't get mixed up with this other jumbo talk when somebody show you a video of they done starved the chicken or the farm owner feeds chicken mice.
What, man? What y'all doing?
They'll eat anything if you starve them. Yo, this ain't hard. A human being will eat whatever when he's starved. What you got over there?
It's go on to say full meaning of fowl. It go on to say a bird etymology from fungo, from birds which are hunted or kept for food, including galliformes, and also waterfowls of other, let's say, of the order of anisforms, such as ducks and geese and swans.
Those are waterfowls. Can we eat waterfowl? Is it on record, Genesis to Revelation, we ever ate a bird that came out of the water? I'm talking about and daily.
Nope.
They enjoyed the waterfowls and they were pleased and their teeth were saturated with waterfowls.
Nope.
So since ducks deal in the water, they waterfowl. While we in doubt on that, we do without. It's up to you if you say it's legal to prove it to us that we ate water birds in these scriptures from Genesis to Revelation or in these lost books.
One thing to note about ducks,
It's all fat meat.
They're high in fat and
fat.
grease.
Greasy.
And the law says we're not supposed to eat the fat.
And the grease.
And the grease. That's forbidden for us to consume, the fat of any animal. It was supposed to be sacrifice. It was supposed to be burnt up with all the other internal organs or poured out like the blood on the side of the altar. And it was not for human consumption.
Right. And Elijah, check this out. When you went and got duck and rice back in the day, You didn't get nothing but a bone and a sliver of meat. Did you get more than the bone and the mystery meat? Look, if you order duck and rice, you got a bone and a sliver of meat. And you suck on the bone like an old Hebrew trying to satisfy yourself that you eat duck and rice.
Right.
It had a hunk of fat on it too.
And a hunk of fat.
It's filled with fat. It's mostly fat.
So y'all, what we're saying is for all those that say duck legal, just show us the water bird eating, because when it talks about quail came from the sea, it's just so many of them, it looked like what you would say there's a sea of people. But when you look up quail, it's a domesticated bird made on the land. There's nowhere in the Bible that it says it comes from the sea and is raised and hatches its eggs in the sea. There's nowhere it says that, y'all. You got to understand the language of the Bible. And I saw the people as a sea of glass. When they show you Michael Jackson concert, they say a sea of people. Are those people in the sea, or it just look like it never ends like the sea? You can't see land. It's so many people at this man's concert. But you'll never find a quail. Look up a quail. When we're going to get with the birds that's in the Bible. A chick and her hen that Luke talk about. We're going to deal with the partridge. We're going to deal with the ostrich. We're going to deal with the turkey. And we're going to see where the chips fall. Lord, let the chips fall where they may. But we ain't going to watch no video. Fresh off the market, and we got 110.4 staring us in the face. We got to deal with. Emo, do you need to holler at me about anything? You good? Okay, all right.
What it
you
comes
got
down
there?
to is who you gonna follow, man or the Most High.
That's what it comes down to. What you got?
Some people still under a little confusion. I guess maybe they was out of the chat or just chiming in and want to know about that sea moss and seaweed, if it's clean or unclean.
Well, the bottom line is, y'all, every herb of the field, all we looking for is a herb of the sea. That's all, y'all. Once that's then it ends our discussion.
Right.
Or we have to add to or take away from the Bible. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We can't add to.
Nor take away from it.
Mushrooms are fungus.
Right.
Fungus grows where there's no dark, it's moist, and water's there. Yes, it may clean this because it's a fungus. It'll grab hold of fungus in your body, but it's going to destroy something else. It's like high blood pressure medicine. It'll lower your blood pressure, but then it causes problems for direct water to build up in it. Then you got to get a water pill to get the water out of you. Well, when you put the water pill, it flushes out the potassium, so now you got to get a potassium tablet. Because it's going to cramp up your heart and give you a heart attack, so you right back where you started. And a bag of medicine. That's why the doctor say go get 2 witnesses. Don't the doctor tell you 2 witnesses? He said you got to stop eating that and put this in you. Oh, doctor, why I got to do that? Doctor, ain't no fix. He said, here's the fix. It's called a prescription, but it's not a fix. It just layers over the top.
It's just a Band-Aid.
It's like putting sugar over a doo-doo pie. What's underneath that sugar? Okay. What you got, sis?
Is it improper to take blood pressure medicine?
Not. What you have to do is train your body. You have to punch that illness in the mouth. And that's get the medicine, because it still comes from the herbs of the field, but it's processed herbs. So if you get a lot of process in you, it's going to take over your body, and it's not going to let your body work off itself. The medicine will have to tell the body to work. So you have to get on the medicine, let it get things back in perspective, and get rid of it. It's like any fungus or something. You don't want to take antibiotics, but teas may not get it because it's in the bloodstream now. You got to punch it in the mouth and then start on your teas, and then it won't let it back in. What you got, Emo?
And if you have to take it, ask them if you can have the blood pressure medicine without the pork, because there's 2. Without the pork. There's one with beef and one with pork. So if they're gonna do it, ask them if you have to do it that way, then you would ask them, can I have the one with the beef or the one for the gelatin, which is vegetable?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they
They
have
have a vegetable.
They have vegetable gelatin that's not pork. They do make a vegetable gelatin.
Look, I was suffering from gout until I learned what triggers the gout. and most of it clean meat or clean vegetables, because I don't eat the unclean. They trigger too much lamb and goat will cause a problem for that. Something is going on, it's not clearing it out like it should. Whatever the deal may be, but I know what the limit is on that. Lentils, lima beans, 1 helping. If I go 2 helpings, then I'm gonna get you sucker toe coming. Ain't no doubt about it, and it's all clean. So until that get fixed, but they tell me we got an alternative. You can eat all the lima beans you want as long as you take allopurinol every day. Well, allopurinol mask the problem that I'm having, so I can keep eating the other stuff, but still my intestines are dying. I just got a cover over it. It's like Pepsid AC when we talk about stop heartburn. It don't dissolve the acid. It tells your body to turn on more acid. When you take Pepsid AC, you ate too much. You got acid reflux. You're a glutton. So you take Pepsid AC to turn the acid down, which it don't tone the acid down. It tells your body you don't have any acid, and your body releases the floodgate of acid, and it dissolves it, and you think it's the medicine.
Right.
All the medicine did was open the floodgate for your body to send through enough acid to dissolve what you just ate. But if you eat to food get up to here, you're gonna have problems no matter what you take. You can't just keep eating. Cause next you're gonna be eating in the bathroom. Eating and pushing at the same time.
No.
Because there's no measuring stick. Acid reflux is overeating.
Yeah.
What you got, Emo?
So, 2 things. If you're having issues with gout, then you want to eat more celery. That's one.
That's what she fixed for me all the time. What knocks is right out.
And that will get rid of that. The next thing is if you're going to eat certain things, you want to make sure, what does the scripture say? If you get prone to gluttony, put a knife to your throat?
Yeah, same thing. If your eye offend you, do what? Better go in with 1 eye than 2, and 1 is causing you a problem.
That's at the book of hospitality, Sirach,
Yeah.
at 36 or so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write book of hospitality. I'll find it.
So Emo, yeah, what we're understanding is, y'all, what the law says. It's always going to be a 2-part. It's going to clear it up. Who like neck bone?
Oh, well.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Gotta ask
I
you
mean,
a
neck
question.
bone, just be neck bone. Look, listen to this. Listen to this.
Then went real quick.
Who wants some real neck bones? Who wants some giraffe necks?
Thank you. Thank you. I'll
See,
have the next question.
and understand this, giraffes ain't mentioned, but they chew at the cud and got split hook. Who wants some real neck bones? See, that sounds crazy now, but they're legal.
The next question. That was the next question.
They chew at the cud and they have split hook. You want some neck bones? Let's get enough for everybody to eat. See, cause regular neck bones, you run out. Damn, they all gone. There's some juice left. You pour that over your rice. You want to have enough neck bones for everybody? You want enough neck bones? Everybody get some giraffe necks up in there. What else he said? Too bad.
You got a few people wanting enough honey this week.
If what?
Honey.
Honey?
Yes.
Come on, man.
Milk and honey is like the kingdom.
I'm like,
Honey is the only food source that don't spoil.
It never spoils.
3,000-year-old honey tastes like it did yesterday.
John,
That's why the kingdom is milk and honey, to raise you up from an infant, and then honey which lasts forever.
what was John?
Just get ridiculous.
John the Baptist ate honey and wild locusts, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he introduced the Messiah to the world. No, look, y'all, and the reason they asking these questions, y'all, because with this 110.4 out there, there's so many videos out there telling us what we're doing, and we're not checking with the law. And that's what's happening, bro. We're not looking at them as being in fault. They may have been just chasing fault. But honey is all throughout the scriptures listed as honey. Milk and honey, and different things like that, y'all. So we have to understand what the Bible says. Let's read some more, y'all. Let's get caught up, y'all. We got to get going. We only got about 45
That's
minutes.
it. Oh, is it?
What?
Which one?
There's another question today.
What it say?
Who is it, man?
Ezra CMT.
What does the CST say?
CMT, on the street, please.
Is smoking black and mild a
sin.
It's smoking black and mild sin. If it offends you, pluck it out. Look, y'all, we ain't gonna get into what individuals do because we'll bring up somebody that's been smoking and they're 97 years old, been smoking since they was 15 and don't have cancer. What are we gonna do about that? What do you do about that? And then you got somebody that have lung cancer from secondhand smoke. What do you do about that? See, so what we're talking about once again is what offends you, pluck it out. If what you're doing offends you, and see, and this is the key term, we said cigarettes. You didn't say what's the herb of the field that's legal. Tobacco. Cigarettes have nicotine on them. You don't get a tobacco patch, do you? What kind of patch do you go get? Nicotine patch.
It's filled with all kind of harmful chemicals.
It's cocaine legal. From the coca plant, it's when they put them 13 chemicals on it. It say you're chemically what? Dependent. It's the chemicals that got you chasing. It ain't that. If ladies got anything different with the potatoes they use, why you just can't eat one of theirs? What's the difference in the potatoes with the other potatoes? It's the MSG on Lay's that you can't eat one. It's the MSG that's got you can't put them down. It ain't the potatoes, they got them from the same place. Same out of whole potatoes. Right. But it's the MSG you chasing. Distilled what?
Water.
Spirits.
Spirit.
That's an alcohol. If you drink wine that's fermented like it's supposed to be, a natural fermentation that brings the alcohol on you're in legal status. But when you start putting stuff on it and you start mixing stuff to amp that drink up, and all it is to amp it up to open up your subconscious to do crazy stuff.
Truth serum.
Truth serum. A drunk body speaks of what? Sober mind. What you got back there, Thomas?
They got a drink for all those who celebrating birthdays in the club, and they call it an MF.
A what? Y'all see that? Now, who want to throw that back and then they're carrying you out like that? He had 3 MFs, but see, now you're on the list for being drunk. Right. What if you died in your sin on your birthday?
Oh, you're a real MF.
Oh! And all we talking about is a mother for unlawful carnal knowledge.
In its truest sense.
That's why FUCK is always capital, for unlawful carnal knowledge. Knowledge meaning sexual intercourse. So a mother for unlawful carnal knowledger is a man that uncovered his father's skirt and sleep with his father's wife. Reuben was an MF. He slept with his father's wife. Ham was an MF. He slept with Noah's wife and bare Canaan. He uncovered his father's nakedness. You cannot sleep with your father's brother's wife. Who's your father's brother? Your uncle. It says you can't approach to his aunt, to your auntie. When you uncover a man's naked, you uncover his wife. But you know what the Muslim will teach about our work? It say that means that Ham had sodomy with Noah. That's what the Muslims say, but that ain't what the Bible, the law say of uncovering a man's nakedness.
There's some Christians that say that.
Look here. What Noah? So Noah was so drunk, now he got 2 sins. First he drunk and pass out and leaving himself uncovered, and then his son coming to him. How did he know what his son done when he was drunk? What did he reach behind and say, grease and butter? That's Ham at it again. That's Ham at it again. See, so y'all, once you let somebody outside the Bible dictate you the rules of the Bible, it's going to be a problem. The Bible interprets itself.
That's nasty.
It was before us, it don't need us. When you want to know about uncovering nakedness, get into Leviticus 18 through the 20th chapter.
Yes, sir.
1 Corinthians 5. This fornication ain't known among the Gentiles, that a man should uncover his father's nakedness and have his wife. The law explains itself. Let's move on, y'all. Real quick, where we at in the files? Let's get verse what? 13.
Leviticus chapter 11, verse 13.
What it say, Zeb?
And these are things which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten.
See, these what you got to have in abomination. They got to be detestable to you. They got to taste like a Belch White Castle. They got to just look like roadkill, like you got to play the roadkill. You got to have them in abomination. The ones we finna name, the fowl, the birds. Let's read.
They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle.
The who?
The eagle.
Uh-huh.
And the osprey.
Uh-huh.
And the osprey.
Right.
And the vulture.
And the vulture. Because you put turkey on it don't make it a turkey. It makes it still a vulture. Because you still saying what it is. You're saying it's a vulture that looks like a turkey. But it's still a what? Let's read some more.
And the kite.
And the kite. Uh-huh.
Every raven after its kind.
Every raven after its kind. Don't matter if it's black, green, yellow. Every one of them is off limits. Ravens are what get that squirrel when you pull out the driveway. If you run it over somebody else, when you get home from work, it's gone. Guess what ate it up? A raven. Let's read some more.
And the owl.
And the what?
And the owl.
Uh-huh.
And the nighthawk.
Uh-huh.
And the chukar.
Cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
Uh-huh.
And the hawk after his kind.
Uh-huh.
And the little owl. And the cormorant. And the great owl.
Uh-huh.
And the swan.
What is a swan? What kind of bird is it?
A water bird.
A water bird. Go ahead.
And the pelican.
Uh-huh.
And the gyre eagle.
And the gyre eagle. Uh-huh.
And the stork.
And the stork. Who bring you babies? Look, see. Look, I'm just throwing it out there so y'all can understand, y'all, so we don't get this thing twisted. And always use this. Where does vegetable oil come from? Where do corn oil come from? Where does baby oil come from? So, I mean, do we take that baby back there and just wring him out?
Sweating baby.
Got a whole jar full of baby oil now. Cut that crying out. Where we at, y'all?
The stork.
And the stork.
Uh-huh.
And the herd.
Uh-huh.
After her kind. And the lapwing. And the bat.
Uh-huh.
All fowls that creep, going upon all fours, shall be an abomination unto you. Yet these may ye eat of every flying, creepy thing.
So we're getting off of fowls now, but we're on things that walk on all four. Does a chicken walk on all four? No. If you got a chicken with 4 feet, it's a problem already. It said fowls that walk on all four. What you got back there, Aliyah?
I need to know the difference between a black vulture and a vulture.
No, look it up. It'll tell you one just black and one is just regular. All they are is a kind of vulture. You have to identify which one it is. Like kinds of dog. You know the difference between a Rottweiler and a pit bull? Yeah. Same way like this. They still of the what family? Dog family. Vultures of the vulture family. Whether it's, you call it turkey vulture. What have you called it hamburger vulture? What have you called it German Shepherd vulture?
Still a vulture.
I mean, this vulture just got ears like a German Shepherd. Does that make it a dog instead of a vulture?
Just like you got the one bat they called the one bat they called the fox bat. Yeah. And it looked like a dog, but it's a bat. It's a big old bat, a fruit bat, but it looked like a dog. I mean, it looks just like a dog in the face and everything, but it's a bat. Deuteronomy 14.
You said Deuteronomy 14?
Yep.
You ain't gonna finish that 21?
He wanted to just, he was trying to just get straight to the, about the fowls, you know, going straight into about the fowls versus the birds and everything, because one of the issues that people were making videos about was talking about how chickens are illegal or considered unclean and they're not to be on the dietary list. There's one cat out there saying that chickens are a creation of something. What yuck he say?
He said they were a hybrid, and they were a mixture of Asian fowl. They mixed with they bred with Asian fowls.
Yeah, so you got a lot of people that's out here with various doctrines about the eating of certain meats, and especially chickens. You have a lot of people that saying chickens are not considered a clean animal to eat, to consume. And they saying that it's biblical, but it's not biblical.
Right. They just saying it. They sitting in Moses' seat.
One thing about a chicken that no one ever discusses is that it has a gizzard.
Yeah.
It has a filter system.
Uh-huh.
Now, what, like Daniel was saying, they will show you purposely videos that that people are doing these horrific things with animals or lawful animals, lawful food, like the chickens or any other lawful meats and everything. And they'll show you those videos to try to support their claims, their doctrines of devils. But they won't show you the flip side. Like the script says, everything, you must be able to cover all corners, free and bond.
That's right, rich and
male
poor.
and female, rich or poor, Jew or Gentile. But they always only show you one side. They never show you the other side because they don't want you to make a conscious choice.
Right. That's what they're taking away from your choice to choose good or evil. They're taking that away from you and forcing you to believe it one way. I'm going to show you a chicken eating them. Oh, okay. Well, that's the face you'll get when you see it. But the bottom line is what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up Tyson's chicken farm. I'm going to pull up the other chicken farm, and I'm going to show you everything in there, what they're doing, how they feed them, how the chicken coops are set up. And it'll be mouse and rat free. What are we going to do about that then, Elijah?
Right. I mean, what are you going to do?
See, they got it under control over that. Well, you telling me what you're showing me is out of control. You're showing individual purposely feeding a chicken a mouse. That's doing it on purpose. You starve anything and stick it through a gate, it's going to eat it if you ain't fed it in a while. Go to jail and see what they'll put through that license, see what you will eat.
It's just like it's
on YouTube where a baby feeding off of a dog because the baby hungry.
Sucking
the milk from a dog.
Ain't that where they get Valentine and Romelius and someone's supposed to have been weaned off a wolf titty?
Yeah. But I mean, it's all propaganda. It's just like the propaganda against the pit bull.
Yeah.
They only showed you the pit bulls that were raised to fight and demonized and everything.
Giving gunpower.
But they never
and
showed
red
you
pepper.
the pit bull that's real nice and friendly. Petey from the our game from the Little Rascal, he was a pit bull. America's the symbol for America back in the 30s and 40s was an American pit bull. That was a symbolism of the greatest dog in America. They even had a pit bull that was in the army that received medals of honor because he was the dog of a general. But now you have all this bad publicity, this bad propaganda about the pit bull.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got some beautiful pit bulls that I've raised that were very friendly and socialized. I had a couple of crazy ones, but they came from bad breeders, and I gave them all back.
Right.
But the good ones I had, they were really good dogs. Really good dogs. Was totally different from what you will hear in the media.
That's right. Yo, if you train a Chihuahua to bite everybody that come in the house, it's gonna be a problem. You got to wear boots when you go visit them because they can only bite your ankles. And y'all, that's the first thing they go to. Man, get your dog. He's an ankle biter. But you don't look at that like a pit bull, do you?
No.
But if he get the ankle of a child, he can get up around the kneecaps because he can bite farther up. Yo, Elijah dogs is trained. I still don't trust them because they know Elijah. No matter where when I go over his house and that dog out, I turn sideways. I say, you can have all this hip, but don't you go where the zipper is. I just turn sideways. You can have all that hip on. So, but his dogs are so trained that they understand, and it's been like that the whole time. When they're bred to fight and kill. Mike Vick wasn't breeding, he wasn't fighting, what's them little small dogs? Shih Tzus.
Yeah, Shih Tzus.
He had pit bulls, and the last one just died that they rescued. They talked about that the other day. But he's now been relieved of that crime. Never can own any dog again. He can't own one of them purse puppies that them rich heathens have when they go shopping. They had a dog in a purse. So he can't even own that, but he don't care now. They let him back on the earth. He can talk football, what he should have been into anyway. He should let dog fighting be the dog fighting and play football. So y'all, we ain't gonna hold that, but run out of time. We got about a half hour, and I need to get through these scripts real quick. Let's get back on the fowls. So right now, y'all, we see.
Is that a question?
Yeah, so I asked if we can eat chicken, gets it.
No.
Well,
It's an
look,
internal organ.
internal organs.
You have to go to the laws of sacrifice where it talks about never to eat any internal organs, nor the blood thereof, for the life is in the blood.
Or blood filters, livers,
Right.
kidneys.
You can't eat that stuff because that's where the life lies. You know, no internal organs, only the flesh thereof. No internal organs. That's why, and I also want to make this point. Hot dogs.
Yeah.
We cannot eat hot dogs, regardless if they beef or turkey or whatever, because they use all the internal organs and they
Ground them
cross
all
that
up.
and they use that as the hot dog. The only two companies that make no byproduct hot dogs is Nathan's and Hebrew National. So if you're gonna eat hot dogs,
Well, I'm
those are
glad
the
you
only
cleared
two.
that up.
Those are the
There's
only
gonna have to be
two.
some freezer empty,
Yeah.
but I'm glad you
But
cleared
those
it
are
up.
the only
Yeah.
two that have no byproducts in it, and byproducts are the internal organs.
Right.
So if you're gonna eat a hot dog, Nathan and
Hebrew
Hebrew National
National.
only. Everybody else uses byproduct, meaning all
be
the
anything.
internal organs of that animal, the throwaways, they're grounding up and making your hot dog.
They usually call
Polish
it
sausages,
sausage, all that.
even turkey Polish sausage and all that. You also have to read and make sure, even though it might be turkey sausage, it might be cased in pork casing. So you have to read the ingredients. But to be on the safe side, when in doubt, do without.
Do without.
Nathan and Hebrew National are the only two that make hot dogs that have absolutely no byproducts in it.
That's right. And look, so just not to cut you off real quick, y'all, just so we get forward, I need somebody to look up turkey vulture and turkey gobbler. So we need to move on with this, and then I need to look up, we already looked up chicken, need to look up partridge. What a partridge is, because we got what's called game birds. And you would go hunting for a game bird. Like they go hunting for when they go shoot turkeys and wild, those are some are game birds. They call them game birds because it's a sport to go after them.
Yeah, to get points.
But we're gonna look up partridge and we're gonna look up other birds that have it. Cause look, y'all, we just getting on the bird side. The eggs still come into play. If you don't eat a chicken, you can't eat his eggs either, can you? No. So we're gonna see what the Messiah say about this and what law say about eggs and which eggs we can't eat.
What, you said the gobbler?
Turkey gobbler and then turkey vulture. And I want to read both of them. What you got right there, bro? What it say?
Read it aloud. The turkey vulture, also known in some North American regions as the turkey buzzard.
The turkey what?
Buzzard.
Buzzard. Now, what is a buzzard? We know what a buzzard is.
A bird of prey.
A bird of prey. Go ahead.
And in some areas of the Caribbean, as the John crow and carrion crow is the most widespread of the New World vulture.
See, it compared it to a crow. You understand what does a crow eat? Don't a crow eat flesh of other dead animals? Ain't the crows all the way around on every Exorcist movie? There ain't no doves, is it? Crows on the window sill. Go ahead, what you got?
I just want to add to what Elijah was saying. You got to be careful with them beef jerky sticks.
Yes, sir.
Just because it say beef jerky or whatever the case may be, if you read between the lines, you will see that it's pork involved in a lot of those beef sticks. Besides, you got those other brothers like, oh, well, you know, I get my tripe from so-and-so, you know, ain't that beef?
Tripe is stomach.
Like, you know, they think it's all good because it comes from the cow.
This cow's stomach.
Yeah, but you're not
Stomach
gonna
is an
eat
organ.
that. Yeah. Not supposed to eat
Look,
that.
and tripe, what meat we getting, and it should be as laffy-taffy to you.
I'm telling you.
You pull that tripe, man, and you know what it's for, man. It's right here for a pow.
Slap you in the face.
Y'all, all we have to do is follow the instructions. They're not hard, they're simple. They're simple things. Don't eat this if it do this. Chicken ain't got no 4 legs. It said fowls that go on all 4 on the ground, but we gonna get to it because it's considered a bird too. It said the kind is a bird, and then you go into different kinds of birds. There's a fowl, and then there's this type, and then there's this type, but they all fall under birds. There's unclean birds. unclean birds. There's unclean animals and there are clean animals, right? So y'all, it's that simple, y'all. It's not hard. We make it hard by throwing in something that has nothing to do with what these scriptures just said. Turkey vulture, we just read. It's got another definition?
Nah.
Give me turkey gobbler. Who got turkey gobbler?
It's a turkey gobbler, Urban Dictionary.
You can go to any dictionary, go to whatever one. You ain't got to go to Urban, just get the one of them. Pick it. A turkey gobbler. The act of, boy, what book you got back there? Where your dictionary coming from? Huh?
Man, I ain't reading it.
Come on, man. Let y'all get somebody got some good definition. Just pull up turkey gobbler. Go ahead and say what it say. I know what it say. Just read what it say.
No,
you may be reading the definition or something else. What it say?
No, man.
No,
this
man,
ain't,
that's
this
what I'm
ain't
telling you.
No, this ain't the definition. This is far from the definition.
Oh, there it is.
Come on, y'all. Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. We gotta move on.
What is a gobbler? A gobbler, or tom turkey, is a mature male bird. There will be shifts in physical appearance and behavior as they get older, but a gobbler is essentially a gobbler in its 2-year birthday. A mature male bird.
Go ahead, but y'all, when y'all get through the rest of it, y'all find a different site. It'll tell you a domestic bird that you feed grain to. You got, have y'all read anything about vulture yet? Have y'all read anything about vulture yet? Has it said, does that gobbler eat, does it attack wild animals? Will a turkey eat your Shih Tzu?
No.
So y'all, this is what we're talking about. One is a vulture family and just has the name of turkey. Don't get them mixed up, y'all. That's what they're showing you. All y'all have to do this, y'all. Google and look at picture of turkey vulture and look at picture of domestic or gobbler turkey, and then look up partridge and chicken. And just look at the images, y'all, and you're gonna see right here turkey vulture. You're gonna see the red turkey gill on the vulture, and then it's gonna run its history. It's gonna say it like to eat dead meat, it like to do this. It feeds off of cliffs and different things, meat, and it'll grab a rabbit, it'll eat that up. It just uses the name turkey like this. Just like monkey man. If you see a monkey riding a bicycle, is that a man? No. What is it? A monkey doing what?
Acting like a man.
Doing what?
Doing man stuff.
Riding a bike.
Doing manly stuff.
Now, will you let that monkey go cash your check? No. He said, yeah, man. Would you let that monkey do some other things? That monkey got the strength of 10 menses. What you got right there?
Turkey gobbler. It says the male turkeys are called gobblers because of their famous call, which is their version of the rooster's crow.
Of the what kind of crow?
Of the rooster. It's their versions of the rooster's crow.
Of the rooster's crow, which legal? Go ahead.
It's a loud, shrilling, descending throaty jumble of sound that lasts about a second. Males often gobble from their treetop roost, where the sound carries better than one on the ground.
Or the treetop roost, meaning inside their pen or nesting. What else does it say? Do they have a nest? Do turkeys have nests?
It's just short.
Look, y'all, it'll get to all that because it still comes down to the eggs of what we're talking about. But you can read all through turkey gobbler, and what we want to get to is its diet versus the vulture, turkey vulture. There are two different kinds, y'all. They're not the same kind. It's just this last itchy ear doctrine that are taking these videos and run with them. And when we get to the clothes part, that's why we got to get through with this, because I want to spend this last hour on the mixing the kind of clothes that people saying you can't wear clothes. This was for the priests. Had nothing to do with you and I. The priests couldn't mix garments. They couldn't mix linen and woolen and go back into the holies of holies. Wool make you do what? Itch and sweat. And if your drawers is wool and linen and you scratching in the holies of holy, what's going to happen? What kind of prayers are they getting with? You talking about need some Desinex when the priest come out of there. Y'all, let's speed this up. What you got, Tupac? We got to get going. Okay, so y'all, we got that. Deuteronomy 14 will say the same exact thing. What you got over there, bro? Go ahead, Vizion.
It say turkey gobble, seed and grain, including spilled bird seeds of corn and wheat. That's what they
That's the diet of the turkey gobble. Thank you, Vizion. Now, we just read the diet of the vulture, turkey vulture, didn't we? If it's a bird of prey and it is turkey, if it's eating wild things, then we can't eat it. Its diet consists of dead meat. It don't care nothing about no seeds and corn. Let me ask you this. When you go to somewhere that you see things like, do they give you, when they say you can feed the birds and things, do they give you meat to feed them birds?
No. They give you grain.
Yeah, they give you grain and stuff. So, y'all, we ain't going to keep playing and running that game of this word etymology. Y'all, this word etymology is killing law, y'all, for them, not for us, because we stay in the law.
And you also see the comparison of the chicken and the turkey is raised for their eggs and for their meat.
Boy, look at that. Let's get right to the law of it. Did y'all get partridge?
No, no one got partridge.
Y'all get partridge while we go to Deuteronomy 22:6. Then I want to go to Job 17:11, Jeremiah 17:11. I want to hit Job 6:6, and we're going to get that we're eating eggs, and it's going to tell us what kind of eggs we can't give. Because a lot of things lay eggs, y'all, that we wouldn't even be thinking about. Snakes lay eggs, don't they?
Yep.
Can you eat a snake egg? You going to issue with Ben Ezra? Okay. 22.
You
Start about verse 6.
You got partridge.
Yeah, I got it.
What it say, bro?
Short-tailed game bird.
What kind of bird?
Short-tailed game bird.
Y'all know what game bird mean? That means you hunt them. Look, they send dogs in there and they fly out of the bushes and then you shoot them, right? That's what the hunting dog do. It chase birds out of there. They don't do vultures like that. They don't do turkey vultures. Ain't none of them hiding in bushes that they shoot them out. What else to say, AZ?
With mainly brown plumage native to Eurasia.
So it's a partridge, but we're going to see what the Bible say about a partridge. And most time he ain't in a pear tree. Deuteronomy 22:6, y'all, let's get it. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom,
Be
brother.
careful out there, bro. Where we at? 22:6.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 6.
And we're going to use this same chapter when we go to close as well. We just going to hit 6. Go ahead.
If a bird's nest,
A bird's what?
nest,
Uh-huh.
chance to be before thee in the way in any tree, or on the ground.
Or where else?
On the ground.
Uh-huh. See, if it's in a tree or on the ground, because partridges have their nest in the tree, they're good to eat, they're game birds. Or on the ground, you got a chicken coop, the nest is on the ground. Technically, right?
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead, what else to say, Elijah?
Whether they be young ones
Uh-huh.
or eggs, and the dam sitting upon the young or upon the eggs, thou shalt not take the dam with the young.
So because she has to hatch, she has to raise the little chicks to where she can push them out the nest. So they go on their own and eat. So you can't take that bird because the children are starved. The eggs won't hatch. So you can't take them. It's just like lamb. We can't. And the Edomite doctrine say you can't eat cheeseburger because you can't sod it. That has nothing to do with cheese and meat. What it's saying is you can't take a child in his mother's milk. You can't eat veal because veal is 6-month-old calf. They're still on the cow's titty.
Right. It's just like when you buy an animal, you can't take the animal can't be purchased and taken home until it's been weaned off the mother's milk.
Yeah.
Like a puppy. You can't just, as soon as the puppy is born, you can't purchase that puppy and take it home. It has to be weaned off the mother's milk before it's prepared to go to a new home. Otherwise, it has separation anxiety and it could die.
Yeah.
That's how I raised a Canadian goose.
Yes, sir.
I was the first one to feed it before it even had feathers, and I had to raise the doggone thing.
Well, see, y'all, and this is what we're talking about because somebody took the mother. Somebody took the mother. But do we still need goose? Yeah, they got to clean that water up. They got to clean the area up. If you're in charge of the sea, the ocean, and planet Earth, you're in charge of all the animals that's on it too. You got to keep that balance on planet Earth. If one thing eat up all the other, we're going to have problems. Let's read some more. Where we at? 22 and 6 and 7?
Verse 7.
Yeah.
But thou shalt in any wise let the dam go, and take the young to thee, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days.
See, you can take it as long as the young is able to fend for itself. But you can't take it no other way. Shalom, y'all. Y'all be careful out there.
Shalom, sister.
Okay, so y'all, we got that, and we see here the deal with a bird and a nest, so we're talking about eggs, right?
Yep.
So now we're just going to hit where his eggs at that we deal with these eggs. Give me Job, what we say? We're going to give me Job 39 and 10. When you read all of Job 39, it's comparing evil birds to men's way of life. It won't compare a dove to evil. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Did that make clear sense? A dove will never be compared with anything evil or unclean. A dove means peace and a sign of what? Purity. Ravens are different things. So when he compares somebody to peace, he talk about what came down and lighted on the Messiah? A dove. Because he's the king of Melchizedek.
Peace.
Peace and what life? That's what it says. Peace and righteousness. That's what you got to have in your life. Where we at? We're going to run through these real quick. Y'all read the whole in between, but we'll explain them as we're going through. Job 39 and 10, what it say?
Canst thou bind the unicorn with his band in the furrow?
So it's talking about a unicorn. Can you bind them? And technically there were horses that had a horn coming out of their head. Some try to say it's a rhino, but it calls it a horse. Different thing. Go ahead. What else it say?
Or will he harrow the valleys after thee? Wilt thou trust him because his strength is great? Or wilt thou leave thy labor to him? Wilt thou believe him that he will bring home thy seed and gather it into the barn? Gavest thou the goodly wings unto the peacocks? Or wings and feathers unto the ostrich?
Right.
Which leaveth her eggs in the earth.
What the
and
ostrich
warmeth
do?
them in the dust.
What she do, boy?
Leaveth her eggs in the earth. And warmeth them in the dust.
See, so now we're talking about the law of birds that build a nest. Where is she leaving her eggs? In the earth, in the dust. Not only that, but ostriches will leave them under the sand. There ain't no nesting there. You can't eat ostrich egg. Ostriches are descendants of dinosaurs. Let's read some more.
Verse 15.
Yeah.
And forget it that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beast may break them. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear.
So this is what it talks about, an ostrich, that bird that lay eggs. We can't eat those eggs. The mother don't care about it. She don't defend it like when we get into the book of Luke where it say, and Most High compare a chick that protect her hen that'll protect her chicken. He says it's like a mother hen that'll take on a fox to protect her chicks.
And they will.
They'll take on a rabid German shepherd to protect their chicks. But not this ostrich. It don't care about its offspring. If it hatches in the sand, it does. What else? We can hold that, y'all. And I'm just showing the difference in a wild bird that don't care about his young to the evil of Israel and to the evil of men. When you read that whole chapter, it's about wild birds and different things that's compared to evil men.
And you'll notice that the ostrich don't live in a group. They usually want solo bolo.
Yeah. Give me while we in Job, let's just flip back. We're going to double back on this. Jump back to Job 6 and 6. And this is about eggs. And then, yeah, just flip on right back to Job 6 and 6. It's something very important about here. If you can't eat eggs, then this statement would be in here. Because it's something about what we do with this subject it's finna mention. And we call it the perfect diet, or you really think you eating good. Go ahead, what does it say, Elijah?
Job 6:6. Can that which is unsavory be eaten without salt?
Do you eat anything you can't put salt on when it, y'all know what it ain't got no salt on it, what it don't taste, ain't got no taste.
They need a little salt on there.
Kind of taste like white folks cooking, it ain't got no seasoning on it. It's like chicken tastes like lettuce. It ain't supposed to taste like that. It needs some salt on it.
Damn, you got chicken tasting like lettuce.
Go ahead, bro, where we at?
Or is there any taste in the white of an egg?
Is there any taste in what?
The white of an egg.
How would you prove that unless you can eat an egg?
That's right.
The only taste of white in an egg is like they sell something called egg what? You can buy at the store. Egg whites only. They have zero taste, y'all. You mix that yolk with them to get a white some taste. And this is what the question and I ask you because Job is the Most High is always questioning, can anybody eat any meat without no seasoning on it?
Right.
You can, but it's going to taste plain and bland.
You ain't going to want it.
Not satisfactory to the palate. Or can any eat an egg white and get some taste out of it?
I ain't never ate one.
You ain't going to eat no egg white and get taste out of it.
Some salt.
But you're eating a what? What is the question asking you about? So we have to get back to what eggs we can eat and to say the eggs that be in a nest, whether on the ground or in a tree, that's legal according to Deuteronomy 14, Leviticus 11. Those eggs we can eat. We're going to read some more. If a man, when we get in that loop, go ahead, where we at?
You want more of that?
No, give me that's all of that y'all can read on down. Y'all see some more on that. Give me Isaiah 59, 4 through 8. Then we're going to hit Jeremiah 17, 11. I tell you what, I'll just say them. I don't want to run us too much. I'm going to run through these. Give me Isaiah 59, 4 through 8. We ain't got but a few minutes, y'all, about 15 minutes or so.
You got Isaiah.
We're looking out there, y'all. Let us know if y'all ain't caught up.
59.
59, yes, sir. 4 through 8. And y'all, these are eggs that's compared to evil. So when the Most High compares something to evil, that means you can't deal with it, can you?
Right.
It's comparing something to evil. Like in the one book of the Testament of the New Testament, Sigo Figuria, it compares men to why I say, and this type of hyena is this type of individual that'll take from everybody else when they set it up. He'll see you go to work and grocery store, put all your groceries, and like a hyena, it'll come and take yours. Like that's what hyenas do. They wait for somebody else to kill it, and then they come and take it from them. And if it compares a man to a hyena, then you know what type of man you're dealing with. So we have to understand when he make comparisons to something, he's not going to have a clean something with an unclean individual. It'll give you that beast you ain't supposed to be with so you understand the difference. That's why when he showed Peter, rise, pillar, keep, Peter said, not so, Lord, for nothing have entered my mouth unclean.
Somebody in the chat hollering then. So we can't eat eggs?
No, we just saying you can eat eggs no, we're just saying you can eat eggs, but what we're saying is eggs come from chickens.
And then somebody asked, can we eat bunny eggs?
Bunny eggs.
See, do bunny lay eggs though? I'm just saying, do bunny lay eggs?
Like they went to the bathroom.
Do bunny lay eggs?
Come on, man.
Yo, so we can hurry and move that one out of the way. Bunny don't lay eggs. That's a fiction of somebody's imagination for the celebration of the fertility god. Come on, y'all, we got to move on. So we're gonna hang on them too long. We'll answer them right out. You get that Isaiah 59? Where we at?
4.
Isaiah chapter 59, verse 4.
Yeah.
None calleth for justice, nor any pleadeth for truth. They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. They hatch cockatrice.
What do they hatch?
They hatch cockatrice eggs and weave a spider's web.
See, a cockatrice egg is like serpent eggs. Or what's that thing? This thing, a scorpion egg, y'all. That's what they hatch. Because they come out of eggs with poison on them already. You can't touch, you think you can pick up what's that, cobra? Is that a cobra? You think soon as it come out of the egg, it don't have venom? Go ahead, what else to say?
And speak lies.
And do what?
They trust in vanity and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. They hatch cockatrice eggs and weave the spider's web. He that eateth of their eggs dieth, and he which is crushed breaketh out into a viper. So if you eat it of their eggs, what it say gonna happen to you? You're gonna die. Whether you eating the eggs of a serpent like Satan, you eating his food, it's the same thing. It's death, but it's comparing it to things that you can't eat their eggs. Like you can't take doctrine from wicked men. It's comparing it to a cockatrice egg. Look up cockatrice, somebody, and then look up any other, like a snake lay eggs. You cannot scramble those with no turkey bacon. Not with snake eggs. We finished with that? No, verse 6.
Yeah.
Their web shall not become garments, neither shall their neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Their works are works of iniquity, and the act of violence is in their hands. Their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting and destruction are in their paths. The way of peace they know not, and there is no judgment in their goings. They have made them crooked paths. Whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. What shall they not know? Not know peace. See, so y'all, what I'm talking about is eggs are mentioned in the Bible. There's good eggs you can eat, because Job just asked her, is there any taste in just egg white alone? You can't separate the yolk, even though they saying it's a good diet. I guess it would be a good diet. If you just on egg yolk, you ain't gonna eat a lot of it. It don't taste like nothing. You're going to lose weight. Don't y'all see the psychology in it? How long before you say, I'm gonna quit eating these egg whites or just keep eating a little bit of it? When you keep eating a little bit of it, yeah, you're losing weight, but it ain't the egg whites. It's like they don't taste like nothing. If you ate a cardboard sandwich, how much weight you think you're gonna lose?
Say a cardboard sandwich.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Still want cockatrice eggs?
Yeah.
It says cockatrice eggs, the point at which a terrible danger first becomes apparent. While a cockatrice is a horrendous mythical hybrid, figuratively, the expression cockatrice egg is used to refer to a point at which a terrible threat or danger first becomes apparent.
So y'all see, cockatrice is a mythical thing, but when you look it up, what does a cockatrice look like? Once you view that picture, you're gonna know exactly what we're talking about. But it didn't compare chicken eggs as wicked, partridge eggs as wicked, turkey eggs. It don't do it, y'all. So if it's not doing it, there's no need for us to chase the wind. Let's get these quick, y'all. We got about 10 minutes. Jeremiah 17:11. And give me 1 Samuel 26, I'm sorry. Then we're going to hit Luke 11 and 12, and then we're going to jump on these garments where we can ride out the last hour, y'all. But we want to get this fowl situation, this chicken and turkey situation together to let you know they're totally two different kinds. A turkey vulture is a vulture. It's not a turkey. No more than a monkey man is a man. Right now, y'all, have we even Googled that? Somebody Google that real quick, monkey man. Just Google monkey man.
Bigfoot.
Right. Where we at?
The book of Barnabas is in the what? The Lost Book?
Yeah, in the pseudo New Testament,
Yeah.
it tells you about the people compared to.
Yeah, so in there, if you read the book of Barnabas, it talks about how, you know, the unclean animals on the dietary list were compared to the characteristic of unclean people. And so he compared the swine to different folks. He compared the different unclean animals to the characteristics and the attributes of unclean people.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
I got the monkey man.
What'd it say?
Derogatory, a man likened to or supposed to resemble a monkey in some respect. U.S. slang, chiefly of African American usage.
Uh-oh.
A weak or gullible man, especially one of subservient to his wife or lover or to women generally.
A monkey man.
They made all of us that.
See, look here. See, but what we're talking about, it had nothing to do with a natural man. Right. It's a characteristic of a monkey. You ain't gonna take care of your woman.
Subservient.
Subservient. So, look, look, we didn't write it.
That sounds like a whole Negro.
Yeah, look at that. I was gonna say we didn't write it. What you got back there, Thomas?
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller.
Well, say what a monkey man is again. Read it loud. Read it loud. Is he reading that? He ain't reading that. He just talking.
He just made that up.
Come on, y'all. Let's move on. Jeremiah 17.
That's good though. That was the name of a whole movie called Chili. Cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller.
Those are not human beings. A monkey man is not a human, no more than a turkey vulture is a turkey.
Right.
Y'all understand how easy that is?
Real easy.
It's either you a Jew or you're not. Ain't no such thing as Jew-ish.
What's a reptilian man?
Look, it's a dude out there that call himself the gorilla Hebrew. What that mean? Huh? Shit, that's called a doodoo thrower, ain't it?
Hey, you throwing bad doctrine, then?
Exactly.
Let's go ahead, y'all. Come on, y'all, let's finish up. Jeremiah 17:11.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
As the partridge sitteth on eggs
Uh-huh.
and hatches them not,
Right?
so he that getteth riches and not by right shall leave them in the midst of his days, and at the end shall be a fool.
See, so it said a partridge that would not sit on her eggs to hatch them. And it's saying sit there. If a partridge don't hatch her eggs, it's just like an individual that's got ill-gotten gain. When they hatch, the bird can't come back because another bird may come and sit on them and hatch them. She can't come back and say, I'm the mama.
Right. That was my baby.
It's the same as what is just comparing it to a man that gets ill-gotten gain. You're a pimp. How you gonna bring that money to the altar? You can't bring the price of a whore to the altar.
Or the dog.
That's pimp money. P-I-M-P. Put it in my pocket.
Or you stole it.
That's what pimping is. Go out there with that mattress and put that money in my pocket. P-I-M-P. Put it in my pocket. That's what a partridge is like if she don't sit on her eggs. Now give me that real quick. Go ahead, Elijah. What you got?
I was just gonna say she don't take care of her responsibilities.
Absolutely,
She
bro.
leave her responsibilities to the care of someone else. It's like a man that doesn't take care of his own household. He's worse than an infidel.
Right. He's worse if he say, I take care of my kids. You supposed to. Shit, what you want, a trophy? Here, we're going to give you a trophy. He's taking care of his kids. You made them. You don't get a trophy for that.
Ooh, we cookie.
We could look here. What you got back there?
Watching the elephant sat on the egg for the bird. Yeah. You don't remember that cartoon? No. When the egg.
When they come out in the 50s, no, I'm just messing with you, bro. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, took the place as a surrogate.
Yeah.
That's all we're talking about. 1 Samuel 26:20. Then give me Luke 11:12, y'all. We're going to close out on there. We got 5 minutes, good minutes, y'all. Want to run these garments real quick so we can get some understanding on that, y'all, about mixed garment, because it's a doctrine out here now. Tobias out of Boston sent me a video of some heathen bringing in esoteric with the garments we wear to say if you wear certain garments, they raise the vibration and energy in you.
Foolishness
We ain't read nowhere where no priest or nothing wore clothes that raised the energy. Clothes that raise the energy are clothes that are not complete, like butt-out jeans. And a bikini in noonday at a regular banquet, that will raise, the only energy gonna be raised. Let's read some more.
1 Samuel what, bro?
26 and 20.
1 Samuel chapter 26, verse 20.
Hold on, how we looking, y'all there?
1 Samuel
Yeah.
chapter 26.
Did I do that
Now
right?
therefore,
Let me see
let
that right.
not my blood fall to the earth before the face
Hold on.
of the Most High.
No, that may not be right. Maybe 2 Samuel. Hold on. I'm gonna put it to 26 and 20. Hold on. Yes, sir.
You got something about a fleet?
Yes, sir. Hold on. Wait, hold on. I messed that up somewhere. Hold on. Maybe it's 20 and 26. Maybe I wrote that back. Here, I'll get it in just a minute. Let's get to while I get the other one. Yeah, give me that Luke 11 and 12. Maybe I did it wrong. Hold on. Let me do this 1 second. It talks about hunting. We're gonna come back to that Samuel. I want to go to Luke 11 and 12. We're gonna come right back to that Samuel. 1 second.
It ain't 20, second time, ain't no 26 seconds. Well, you said Luke what?
17, did we get Jeremiah yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me Luke 11 and 12. And what I want is that Samuel, it talks about the partridge. Hold on.
Luke chapter 11. What verse?
Luke 11 and 12. What it say?
Luke chapter 11, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Start at 11.
Okay.
If a son shall ask bread of any of you, that is a father, will he give him a stone?
Will he give him what?
A stone? Or if he ask a fish, will he for a fish give him a serpent? Or if he shall ask an egg, will he offer him a scorpion?
See, and notice what the difference. If he asks an egg, will you give him the egg we're not supposed to eat, a scorpion egg? Because that's the cockatrice, so to speak. But if he asks an egg, will you give him? It's saying a substitute. This is what it's asking you. Why would you ask for an egg if it wasn't good? This is the Messiah talking. Would you give him a serpent egg if he asked you for an egg? Would you do these type things? So he going through asking you about things a father do or different things or people in righteousness. Would the Messiah give us his law, statute, and judgment if they were no good for us? But somebody with the doctrine of a cockatrice will tell you that the law is done away with. Eat my diet. Eat my cockatrice eggs. Eat my scorpion eggs. Eat my ostrich eggs. Eat what I bury in the sand where you can't see and anything could come by and handle. Eat those. And that's what that doctrine is. Yo, this is esoteric doctrine. It's saying food and different things raise your energy, but we just read the kingdom is not about meat and drinks. It's not about what clothes you got on. What is it? Okay, read. Y'all read it then. Who didn't see it?
You didn't see it.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, Moshe. Go ahead. That must have been when I pulled these glasses on. Go ahead. Y'all read that 1 Samuel then while you're right there, Moshe did.
1 Samuel chapter 26, verse 20.
What it say?
Now therefore, let not my blood fall to the earth before the face of the Lord. For the king of Israel is come out to seek the fleet.
Uh-huh.
As when one doeth hunt a partridge in the mountain.
So when you hunt, because it's game bird. But it say just as like one hunted a partridge, because it's a game bird, is legal. So y'all only use that to just explain what we're talking about, that game birds always were hunted. It's in the law. If you take your quiver and bow and hunt whether fowl or flesh, You know, or cow or animal, it tells you like that, you can use your bow and arrow if you be a hunter. Esau was a man of the field, wasn't it?
Yes.
What did he bring Isaac back?
Venison, such as he was.
Get that Luke 11:12. Oh, we read that, right?
Yep.
So we done with the eggs and stuff, y'all. We just wanted to get that, y'all. Now, yeah, we want to just get real quick the garments. So we're going to go Deuteronomy 22:9-12, y'all. We're going to hit these real quick and we're going to close out. Deuteronomy 22:9-12, now we're going to go through because it covered the clothing as well, because y'all, they're saying now, there's a video out there where it's saying clothes make you vibration. And we're going to read in Exodus to see if them clothes ever made them vibrate into righteousness, because Aaron got stripped out of his clothes.
It must be them Power Ranger clothes they wearing then.
Aaron was told to pull them clothes off, wasn't he?
Get up out of them.
Them Hobby Lobby outfits.
Let's get it real quick, y'all. We're going to close on out of here.
Is it me or here? Right there. Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 9.
Yes, sir.
Thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds.
With what?
Diverse seeds.
So your vineyard was not to be sowed. You can't mix corn and orange seeds in the same thing.
Some seeds will cancel out others.
Yes, that's right.
And so certain seeds are only compatible together, and some aren't. Not all seeds are compatible. One will cancel out the other. I know, I tried it.
Let's get it.
Thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds, lest the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown and the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled. Thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass together.
Thou shalt not plow with an ox and an ass together. You know why? Because an ox legs are longer than what else it say? A donkey. A donkey legs are longer than an ox. So you got one with shorter legs, and both of them you got strapped up plowing. One gonna get left behind.
Right, because one is stronger than the other.
It has nothing to do with an ox and a cow. What it's telling you about your plowing gonna be uneven. It's gonna break it down. They're gonna have to stop. One gonna get wore out. It's like this. Why is the space saver spare tire in your car say only for 30 miles? You know why? Because if you ride it for longer than 30 miles, it's going to throw your front end out of alignment. You can't have a big tire and a little tire and you keep driving like that. But I've seen people with 3 spares and 1 regular tire. It tears up the transmission. If you put 22s on a car that came with 16-inch tires, it's going to tear up the transmission. The 16-inch tires and the transmission go together when they turn like this, so it makes it shift gears right. If you put bigger tires on there, it's going to slow the rotation down because it takes more time to turn. It's going to shift into gear before it needs to. It won't know where to shift into gear. It's the same thing of plowing. Notice what it said, plowing, doing your work. So the only thing I can give you to make you understand that is the spare space saver, keeping it on your car past 30 miles. And what they're warning you is you're going to have some front end problems. You're going to need a wheel alignment. Let's read some more. What else to say, Elisha?
Verse 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together.
Read that last verse.
Thou shalt make thee fringes upon the 4 quarters of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself.
Wherewith thou coverest thyself. So technically, you can put fringes on a t-shirt and put a shirt over that. Do you still got your fringes on? Yeah. They still could be on your 4 corners. You don't even have to show them, do you? No. But right here where we're reading, thou shalt not wear garments of sort of wool and linen, it never said that it raises any type of energy. Why you can't do it? One fabric is stronger than the other fabric. If you jump in a fence with cotton jeans on and the rear end is made out of polyester, what's going to happen when you fly over that fence? What part of the pants going to tear up?
You're going to have some butt-out jeans.
You're going to have what?
Them butt-outs. Them Prince specials. Gonna have them Prince specials on.
Y'all, it was about one garment would rent the other one. That's why the Most High say, don't put an old garment on a new garment, for the old garment will rent. Yep. How you gonna put old and new together? It's gonna tear. Something is gonna tear.
And it's going to be in vain.
It's gonna be in vain. Where we at on that? We good with that?
Yeah.
So we got to understand that. So we're gonna get just to the law of that real quick, y'all, because this is what people do. Exodus 28, but I just want to get right down to the priests and their garments, and then we give me Ezekiel 44 and 15, y'all. We're gonna close out with the Messiah, Matthew 6 and 25, because he's the author, he's the high priest. So y'all, what they're doing is they're taking doctrine that goes for the high priest and the high priest alone and saying it's for any type of garment. Regular garment license. I want to see cotton elastic. That's what I want to see. What else you gonna hold your drawers up without a girdle or a pair of suspenders? If you complaining about mixed divers, pull them drawers off, because we know they got elastic in them, and that's nylon or rubber. You can't have it both ways. You can have on some cotton jeans and a cotton shirt. I want to see where it say fruit of the looms, what that's made out of. Because you need to get rid of them mixed garments and them your drawers with elastic and cotton.
Covering your loins.
See, when you see old people, those drawers were wrapped around like 100 times. They almost look like a bandage when you see the Messiah was up on the cross. And when people wore drawers, they wrapped them around like this, and a couple times and they tied them off. One garment. You're going to talk about mixed divers, we starting with what's closest to you, your drawers.
Over your covenant.
Pull elastic out of them drawers, and what's going to happen? You know what happened to them? They go into the emergency drawer. Them the drawers you just need in case you run out of all the clean ones. These right here will suffice.
Holy.
You just can't bend over. Right. Because you be showing more crack than Harlem had. Where we at? Real quick, y'all, let's get this. Exodus 28, just get me right down to the drawers. Y'all read everything in between. Give me right down to 42. I tell you what, read me verse 1 and then we'll skip down.
Okay.
So we get to subject matter.
That's right. Exodus chapter 28, verse 1. And take thou unto thee Aaron, thy brother, and his sons with him, from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. Even Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, Ithamar, and Aaron's sons.
So we see there's a separation. This is for the high priest only when we're talking about their clothing. This is not for the common man. This had nothing to do with the congregation of Israel. There's a congregation of the Lord, which is Aaron and his son, and then you got the congregation of Israel, which is all the other 11 tribes. Let's get down to verse where I need to be at, like 40. Y'all read all of that and y'all gonna see. And just tell me if y'all see anything 42. In there esoteric about clothes raising energy or making you do righteousness.
I'm gonna start at 41.
Okay, we're at Exodus 28 and 41.
41. And thou shalt put them upon Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him, and shalt anoint them and consecrate them and sanctify them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office.
Who we gonna do that to?
Aaron and his sons.
Okay, go ahead.
And thou shalt make them linen breeches.
Linen what?
Breeches. To cover their nakedness. From the loins even unto the thighs they shall reach.
Now right here you got groups saying women can't wear pants because of this scripture.
Look like shorts.
Look, if a man, hold on, if it's about pants, a man can't wear pants like this. If a man wear pants down to his thighs, up to his loins, he got on hot pants. This had nothing to do with pants you go out into the public with. This said to cover his what?
Nakedness.
What covers your nakedness, man? Drawers.
Say it with your chest.
Now look here. If a woman got on man drawers, if she got on boxers, then yes, it's out of order. But there's women pants and there's men pants. Yeah. Women pants, zippers on the left side of however it go. They don't have no pockets. And they got room for hips in there. If you got on some woman pants, you need some hips. You got on some man pants, you got on some Dickies and some Timberlands, and you a woman, you got on the wrong pants. Every shop you go into, it say man, woman, boy, girl. But this is talking about drawers that they are tricking you to think it's talking about a woman can't wear pants. If these are pants, man can't wear them. The hell, what kind of shorts you going with out this right here, and that's all you got on is shorts? That's like biker shorts with no drawers and a wife beater. Where you going in that license? You gonna get put out the gym with that on. Where we at, License? Come on, finish that up for me. Finish that up, man.
You gotta get kicked out.
Yeah.
Verse 43.
Yeah.
And they shall be upon Aaron and upon his sons when they come in unto the tabernacle of the congregation, or when they come near unto the altar to minister in the holy place, that they bear not iniquity and die. It shall be a statute forever unto him and his seed after him.
Where did this talk about women wearing this anywhere? Or where did it talk about the other 11 tribes wearing these breeches? Does it? Did it mention the other 11 tribes? No. And the other 11 tribes shall also wear breeches. No. That said linen. You know why? Because we think linen, you don't wear it after September. White, anyway. But those are man doctrine. Real quick, y'all, we're going to close out with these last ones. Ezekiel 44. Because we're going to see Zadok, when he's returned from the evil priest and returned to righteousness, we're going to see why it's going to explain what the drawers were for and the bonnet on his head. When you read Exodus 28 all the way down, it's going to tell you about what has to be around the priest's head. It had to be linen bonnet. Y'all, it's going to be a reason why you have to use linen, not cotton, not wool. It's going to explain it to us. And it has nothing to do with vibrations. That's esotericism. I don't care what clothes you're in, they're going to make you vibrate. Unless there's a part missing out of those clothes. Oh. The zipper area or the back pocket area, if they're missing, there will be some vibrating.
Cold tears.
Unless you got one of them analog game things in your pants.
Let's get it, y'all. Start about, start about 17. I'll tell you what, start at 15 through 18, y'all, and we'll call it. No, go through 19, yeah.
Ezekiel chapter 44, verse 15. But the priests, the Levites, the sons of Zadok.
The sons of who?
Zadok.
See, it switched to Zadok versus Aaron because Aaron them fell off. Zadok was a righteous Levitical priest that the Most High say, I'm going to use you to restore Israel to where it needs to be under the priesthood. You read that at the beginning of this 44. Go ahead.
Kept the charge of my sanctuary when the children of Israel went astray from me.
When the children of Israel did what?
Went astray from me. They shall come near to me to minister unto me, and they shall stand before me to offer unto me the fat and the blood, saith the Most High Yahweh. They shall enter into my sanctuary, and they shall come near to my table to minister unto me. And they shall keep my charge.
Right.
And it shall come to pass that when they enter in at the gates of the inner court,
right,
they shall be clothed with linen garments.
What kind of garments?
Linen garments. And no wool shall come upon them.
So we see the priest again can't have on mixed garments. But who is this again, Elisha?
The high priest.
The high priest. Go ahead.
Whilst they minister in the gates of the inner court and within, they shall have linen bonnets upon their heads. And they shall have linen breeches upon their loins.
There go them drawers again. Go ahead.
They shall not gird themselves with anything that causes sweat.
So when you start girding yourself with pants, or do you gird yourself with drawers? And when you're talking about gird your loins of your mind, right?
Yeah.
That's with the breastplate of righteousness around the helmet of salvation. But when you gird these loins, that means have some drawers on under them pants. And it's talking about the priests because they couldn't be profane. And what else it say this causing this, bro?
Verse 19.
Yeah.
And when they go forth.
No, I want you to read 18 again. Finish that up.
They shall have linen bonnets upon their heads, and shall have linen breeches upon their loins. They shall not gird themselves with anything that causes sweat.
That causes what?
Sweat.
See, what causes sweat is wool. Wool will have you sweating. You got on some wool drawers. Y'all know what that is? Hell, wear some corduroy pants in July and see what happens. I'm talking about now, this talking about you can't mix those because they can't sweat. They can't sweat from their forehead. Linen comes from the flax plant. Do you know linen comes from a plant like cotton comes from a plant? Yes. Linen comes from the flax seed, from the flax plant. And it says it won't allow you to sweat because it's breathable. You can almost see through linen. And since you can see through linen, that's why it had to be underneath the clothing, except for up here. But you can't be sweating on your brow. You can't be in there making a sacrifice because what does sweat release, Elisha? Toxic. And if you doing like this, and Lord, we asking you to forgive the nation of Israel, you can't sweat in there. But read some more of this, Elisha. It's going to tell you what's going to happen and let you know these clothes were different. Let's go ahead. What it say?
19.
Yeah.
When they go forth into the utter court,
right,
even into the utter court of the people, they shall put off their garments.
What shall they do?
Put off their garments, wherein they minister, and lay them in the holy chamber.
What else shall they do?
Shall put on other garments, and they shall not sanctify the people with their garments.
See, when you put on your street clothes, you can't do the holies of holy stuff in your street clothes. You leave them temple clothes in the temple. They sweat free. The drawers are free of sweat. Y'all ever seen a football player in the summertime and how he be sweating in his girdle? Why do they call that the girdle? What does the girdle protect?
The loins.
The loins. You have pads in the girdle and then you pull your pants over the girdle. Their protection down there, and you can't, but they sweat in their girdles. You be like, oh boy, he's sweating all in his secret place. Can you imagine a priest going into the temple like that? But when he come out, he takes those holy clothes off. And he lay those clothes down. Then he put on the common man clothes like we do.
Just like when you got these cats talking about we can pray and prophesy with our heads covered. You see here, only the high priest had the bonnet ministering in the temple. Not every common man wore a bonnet on his head when he prayed and prophesied. That's why 1 Corinthians 11 says you dishonor the Father when you do that.
Yes, sir.
Because he's your covering. So when you cover up your head, you dishonoring him.
That's right.
We the common everyday man. Ain't none of us high priest.
Sure ain't.
And that's what I asked the knucklehead boy if he was a high priest. No, but we can still do this. Well, where is it written that the common man can do this?
And look, every place that they go to, 2 Samuel 14, that was a mourning period. Absalom and his men were trying to kill David. So David went up to the priest with his head covered, but it was about mourning time. It was a hit on me. Not only that, but he was barefooted. If you think you can have your covering like this, take off your shoes and socks too in the assembly. Don't do it halfway.
Right.
It's a part 2 to that. David was barefooted. The only other part is Jeremiah 14 when they was covering about the dearth in the earth and it was morning time. The gates language. Israel is black unto the ground. They mourned, they language, and they covered their head like you do with sackcloth. But just in the assembly, there's rules in assembly. That's for mourning. That has nothing to do with assembly worship.
You'll see every time in the morning they covered their heads or they put ashes
and sackcloth on their head.
Sackcloth, and they torn their garments.
For wickedness.
Because of wickedness.
Or something wicked about to happen.
They read that in that 2 Samuel of David ascending up the mountain, it says where he got, old boy met him where he once worshiped.
Right.
It didn't say he was in the process of worshiping at that time with his head covered. It says he met him at the point where he once worshiped and he moved further on beyond that point. They don't keep reading.
No, they don't.
Because it says old boy came and met him at that point where he would stop to worship. It didn't say he was at that point worshiping with his head covered.
That's right.
He just met him at the point where he worshiped before. They just met at that point, that particular place. But he kept moving further beyond that place. If you read that 2 Samuel, you will see that he didn't stop there and start praying with his head covered.
That's right.
Old boy just met him at that point. They just met at that particular point. But he kept moving forward beyond that point.
And he didn't have no shoes on.
And he didn't have no shoes on.
And Jeremiah is the same thing, 14th chapter, the gates language. They're mourning. You can't use that for the assembly in 1 Corinthians 11. That's two different subject matters. One is dealing with death. One is dealing like the order we have in here. So we be on one mind, one spirit, one body, and one soul. So we don't think we can hold hands in a circle like, and then you got gumbo prayer, Muslim diet, everybody hold hand in a circle. That's witchcraft. This instruction tells us when you in assembly, every man take his hat off. Every woman cover her head when prophesying or praying within the assembly. And you can't be talking about mourning and death, because technically every church that you go to that got a dead body in there, that temple is defiled. How you going to worship where you have funerals? Y'all really have to think about this, y'all.
The other thing is, in that 1 Corinthians 11, it starts off and says, Paul says this is an ordinance that he got from Christ.
Yeah.
Meaning that's a law. That's a law.
Last one, y'all.
Governed by the Godhead.
That's right. If y'all will, this last one, Matthew 6:25. But look, Ezekiel 48 and 9. I want to also read. 20. Ezekiel 44 and 20. That was just to tie on to about the draw situation. Neither shall they shave their heads, nor suffer their locks to grow long. They shall only poll their heads. Poll means you trim it. You trim your beards. So this take away from them Edomites who don't trim their eyebrows, mustaches all the way down here, getting in their food. They don't clone up. This say the priest must trim their beards. If you have to trim your hair low, you just can't do the bald head. You can't do aliyah back there. For the high priest only. This is all high priests. They can only poll their head. That means cut it down low, but leave a little bit of hair follicle so we know your hair is growing back. That's what it means to poll versus shave. It means to trim it up, get it nice and neat. Because remember when David met the man and he said, I have not even trimmed my beard, nor have I even washed myself since I talked to you. David said, well, you need to go hit some water and get to the barbershop immediately. But he was just letting them know what state he was in until he met David. I ain't did none of that. But David said, go wash and go trim your beard, poll your hair, and that's what you did. You can't come to court and you've been in a hole for 30 days. They wash you, give you a bath, and they give you a shave.
They clean you up before you go before the judge.
But only the priest couldn't shave their head bald, the high priest. They could poll it. And if you look at in 2 Samuel 14:2, Absalom, who had no blemish from the sole of his foot to his head, polled his hair once a year. He cut his hair down to where it was just stubble, and it said it weighed 200 shekels, which is equivalent to 5 pounds of hair. He had 5 pounds of hair hanging on the back of his head. Now, if he's David's son and David is the king, wouldn't he be in violation to have long hair like that? If you didn't understand 1 Corinthians 11, should a man have long hair? How you got 2 pounds of hair on your head? And you're the king's son. The priest would have already been told him he's out of order. It ain't talking about if a man have long hair, is it uncommon to him? Don't you think nature teaches you that? What in nature that has long hair that dominates? It can't be talking about the lion. He got the long hair. The female ain't got no hair. No. It's telling you if a man switch roles with his woman, her hair is her glory. If his hair become his glory, he's going to act like a woman. He's going to be flipping it in.
He's going to act.
Dippity doing it.
Itchy.
That's all it's saying. Because nature would have to teach you what's the problem with a man having long hair. The only problem we can have with nature having a problem for Absalom, David's son, is when he was on the run, Joab was trying to kill him, that fro got caught in a tree branch. And he was hanging like this. And they cut his head off. And he had to tell David, I killed your son. But he was trying to take over the kingdom. David said, I know you had to do it. Joab, I know you had to do it. But it was what David had done to Bathsheba. When we go back to the beginning of this. But priests couldn't shave their heads, they could only poll. Y'all understand it now? So we can't get mixed up to where they're doing the congregation of Israel versus the congregation of the Lord. That's Aaron and his son, the congregation of the Lord. The congregation of Israel is just the other people. It's like the saints, and then you got the 24 elders that's around the throne. Those are the assembly in the heavens. Those 24 that surround the throne that sing, holy, 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 non-stop. That's different from the saints who are down here that come up underneath the altar. Y'all make sense?
Yeah.
Let's finish the last one. Matthew 6:25, we close out.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 25.
Yes, sir.
Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life.
Do what?
Take no thought for your life. What ye shall eat. Or what ye shall drink.
Right.
Nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. It is not the life. Is not the life more than meat?
Is the life more than meat? Are you concerned more about your soul or your flesh? You can't put clothes on your soul. So when Adam was found naked, it means his soul was exposed to do wickedness. It didn't change this. All this did was went into corruption versus everlasting. It just switched to corruption, so the flesh died. And it's still dying to this day, ain't it? Mm-hmm. What herbs can you eat gonna stop this flesh from dying? Who gonna keep you out of Austin Lane? Where the carrots at? Where the lettuce? Where the crystals that gonna stop this from dying and keep you from Austin Lane, whatever funeral home in your city?
He said there's no man that can retain the spirit.
What else to say, bro? That's right.
Not the life more than meat. And the body more the body than raiment.
Okay.
Is not the life more than meat.
Right.
And the body than raiment.
Right.
Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? Which of you by taking thought can add 1 cubit to his stature?
Can I dream I'm 6'5"? I can, but when I wake up, what's happening?
You still 5'3".
Look. Now, if I pull on the breeches that I had on when I went to sleep, and they fit me like some culottes, or you know what they call them pants right there at the knee, capri pants, you know, then I done grew 6 feet in my dream, because I got on high waters now.
No, you just put on capris.
Yeah, that's right. That's all it is. Because I ain't grew up that point. Go ahead. What else to say? We're going to finish this with closing out.
And why they...
Yeah, you're in 28.
28. And why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you, that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these.
He say, even with all them jewels and silk garments Solomon had on, just a flower out in the grass with his natural covenant. Its natural covenant was greater than what he had on. Because you know what he did with them fabulous garments on? Y'all know what he did? What he do?
He failed.
He broke every law we just read in Deuteronomy with them clothes on. So y'all miss it with all of that vibration stuff. That's esoteric, y'all. Don't listen to them videos because we ain't got a scripture in here that clothes set you right. Actually, we got the opposite because say the Pharisees do what? They make broad, they what?
Phylacteries.
Chief seats in the most place. Fabulous garments. But yet inside they what?
Full of dead men.
Y'all, we ain't got to say no more. Anybody got any questions before we close out? How you looking, Vizion family? Y'all good? Y'all got any questions? Anybody?
Nephew like, yeah, I like that.
Yes, sir. Well, y'all, we're going to close on out. Ariel didn't give me a psalm to close. I don't think so. What'd he say? What'd you say, Ariel? He may have got on.
Probably did not.
But we're going to go with Psalm 133 then if he ain't there.
Psalms 5.
Psalm what?
You say Psalms 5.
Okay. Y'all, we're going to close on out here. Y'all sure y'all ain't got no questions or concerns? Y'all read the law in its entirety. Don't let nobody pick you or show you a video. Because y'all, with what the devil going to do, he going to show you a video of you robbing a bank when you was at home. You going to fall for that one?
Y'all got to, anytime somebody bring or present any information, doctrine or whatsoever, make sure they bringing law with it.
Yeah.
Because if they ain't bringing law, then what's the measuring stick to go by? How do you prove or disprove what they bringing?
You can't?
You have to bring law with it. And if they don't know law, they ain't bringing law, it's not worthy to even be dealing with. They got to do their homework before they even bring it to you first.
Yeah, that's right.
If they ain't did their homework, tell them to step.
No.
Go back and do your study or research and bring it back to me.
Tell them
then
to
we
get
can
going.
conversate.
Tell them to get going.
Otherwise, tuck your tongue, homie.
Put the book down.
All right, y'all. Good Sabbath day, y'all. Good feasting. That's some good feasting off the word of the Lord, wasn't it? Y'all full? Psalm chapter 5, a psalm of David. Give ear to my words, O Yah. Consider my meditation. Hearken unto the voice of my cry, my King and my God, for unto thee will I pray. My voice shalt thou hear in the morning, O Yah. In the morning will I direct my prayer unto thee, and will look up. For thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. Yes. Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. But as for me, I will come into thy house in the multitude of thy mercy, and in thy fear will I worship toward thy holy temple. Yes. Lead me, O Yah, in the righteousness because of mine enemies. Make thy way straight before my face. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter it with their tongue. Destroy thou them, O Yah. Let them fall by their own counsel. Cast them out in the multitude of their transgression, for they have rebelled against thee. But let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy because thou defendest them. Let them also that love thy name be joyful in thee. For thou, Lord, will bless the righteous. With favor wilt thou compass him as with a shield. Hallelujah! Selah! Y'all got a shekel or two, y'all. We greatly appreciate it. Appreciate all y'all do for us.
Getting better on them reading them prayers.
Look here, you got to pause them last second. I watched that boy. I watched what he did.
Your pause sound like you tripping over there.
Look here. Look here. But look, y'all knew that was the end, though, didn't you? Look here.